Hello, everybody. No intro, nothing like that. I appreciate your patience. I know that we had I don't know, an 8-minute delay in regards to starting the show. Had some things I had to take care of. It was unavoidable. Glad to be here with you guys. And if anything, I'm going to welcome a few of you guys. I'm not going to be able to get into all the comments. This won't be a long show. And if for any reason I'm not done when it needs to be done, I'm gonna have to, end it when it needs to be ended because I have some things I have to get to later on tonight. Nonetheless, I really appreciate you guys and your patience. We will have a good outline for you. And let's jump into whoever happens to be the current first comment of the day. It's going to be from, well, it might have been from somebody else, but it nonetheless is from Boomer F. the Sooner. Thank you for being here, Mr. Boomer. Also going to welcome Brian Dowie, who's in the house. KK's in the house. Elon Muff, Mike Cornwell. Humpty is back. Will Smith, the like button, y'all. You got a new avatar. Brittany's back. Oh, appreciate you, all you guys. Thank you so much. All right. Brian Riley, thank you guys for being patient. Somo Flood is in the house. Tim Shea, Mayor Crypto Commissioner. Thank you guys again. LeGrand Commission. Just kind of going through this list of you guys. Michael Montclair. Thank you. Not firing on all cylinders tonight. It's just been an extremely rough day, to say the least. We all have rough days, but it was hard to. I almost decided to cancel the show, believe it or not, and I was like, man, I don't know. Let's see what happens. I was looking at the time. I was like, man, maybe I can make it. So I had some unavoidable things with my father to deal with, and it's just one of those things. All right. Frankie Ortiz, welcome. Glad to have you here. Consider changing your avatar. That way we can identify you a lot easier if you choose to do so. Let's welcome back a few of you guys, right? Patrick Collier, LeGrand Commission. Glad to have you guys. Incurable Optimist, welcome back. Hush It is back. Back here in 4.1M now. All right. Mr. Crypto, hey, what you know about Elmo? I'm just going to say right off the surface. Probably not nothing when it comes to that. Don't mean no disrespect, but I'm not really into meme tokens. I only own a few of like the Coke and Pepsis, if you will. I still own a bunch of. Actually, I shouldn't say that. I still own a bunch from 2021, and they're worth not much at all. You know what I mean? Chased after a bunch of meme tokens. Learned a lot from that in the past. Not going to go down that rabbit hole again. Guys, please smash that like. I would really appreciate it. We're currently at 17 likes. Michael Montclair is in the house. Again, thank you. You had the flu again? Oh, no. That is no bueno, my friend. I hope you feel better. For real. Feel better. Let's pray for Michael Montclair that he'll get well and everybody else who might not be here. All right. We're waiting for a few more people to fill in. We'll get into some of our outlines. If you guys wondering about what do we have for the agenda, is it even going to be a good show? Max don't seem too enthusiastic. I'm enthusiastic. It's just a lot of distractions. Like every time I would try to get into something, boom, this would happen. Try to get into something else, like, oh man, I'm trying to read up about this, boom, this would happen. And it was just like, I almost was starting to think, like, is today's show meant to be? And then I was thinking, well, there might be a delay. Maybe you guys are like okay with the delay. Anyway, I'm not gonna keep talking about it, but yeah. Well, thanks, Brian Riley. Appreciate that, man. Thank you so much. All right. Yamaha Pacifica says, hang in there, Max. We all appreciate it. Well, thanks. I want to state this. I mean, if for any reason there was a new platform, right? Not CTN, but if it was another platform, would you support that platform? I'm not trying to get too drastic, but I'm just trying to state, if there was another platform, would you support that platform? Leave it at that. All right. Let's go further down. River, glad to have you here. Thank you so much, you guys. And Hump Not Dump. Speaking of meme tokens, Shiba Inu is working on becoming an actual utility and he won't hurt anything. I honestly think they are trying to create some utility. That's the whole point of, like for instance, Bone, the gas leash is kind of like the Bitcoin of the group. But the criticism about Shiba Inu itself is like, well, does that actually have any utility? That in itself. And that's like an endless rabbit hole, right? But as far as Shibarium, I mean, we're not to the point where we have that platform, like I always said, fully implemented where, all right, here's this amazing, Shiba Inu metaverse. I still think that is going to be a polished metaverse. That's why I'm not willing to sell my SHIB and just give up on the whole idea of it. But teach his own. You need a dependable sidekick, Max. I need somebody that shares the passion and makes it happen. But it is what it is. All right. Let's see here. Magic Power. Hello. Guten Tag. Sie Liechtenstein Exchange. We want to know something? I can always count on Magic Power, right? You want to know something that actually put a smile on my face, man? Magic Power. Thank you for that. All right. Some of you guys are expecting, like, dude, just get on with it. There was a delay. I get that, but I do appreciate Magic Power when it is hello, guten Tag, Sie Liechtenstein Exchange. And Jasmine with the Race Crop Consortium in the house. That's good stuff, man. Thank you for that. All right. Yamaha, Pacifica, if it's Rumble, yes, we do have Rumble, but it's, it's up to me to figure all that stuff out. But anyway. All right. Corey Bibe, good evening, Max. What's your thoughts on XRP Proton? I don't have thoughts on Proton right now. Or XR, excuse me, that was a typo, but I don't think so. I think that you meant XRP. Don't have any thoughts on that at the moment, man. Gotta look more into some of that. Gotta be honest about some of that, right? You guys know me. I'm not gonna BS you on stuff I don't know about. So support as long as it's the same quality content. Oh yeah, absolutely. It's just, I don't know. Kind of like venting a little bit. Some of you guys who are old school kind of know where I'm coming from. You're in the know. Some aren't in the know. And it's okay. All right. I'll read this from Humpty. Shiba Inu takes a step to become DeFi contender with digital IDs. Digital identity verification will be part of all Shiba Inu developments in the future, including the upcoming Shibarium. Think about digital ID identifier. I mean, is Shiba Inu trying to go the Jasmine route? And if so, that's pretty cool. Speaking of Jasmine, Mr. Crypto says, is Jasmine a meme coin? No, it's not a meme coin. But the community has meme coin-esque type feel to it. So some people have stated like it feels like a meme coin, but it has utility. It's definitely not a meme coin. All right. River, you still liking Leo X Max? I never got into it. I was on the cusp of getting into it. I don't know if I'm really willing to jump into that. I'm kind of a little bit mixed on that, to be honest. All right, what we're going to do is we're going to kick it into what coverage we have. And I want to show you guys some things. Believe it or not, we're going to start off from Mr. Crypto Mike. I saw his tag earlier. I don't know. I thought it was pretty good. I want to share this. We do have, again, a decent amount of material for you. And basically speaking, it's going to be Ripple's XRP, some Stellar again. Yeah, that's nice to have some Stellar 2 days in a row. And we have some XDC and a little bit of Jasmine. But to start things off, before we get into the Jasmine coverage, I thought, why keep our community waiting, right? Sometimes we do need to recognize the tags first. So, is Mike Cornell will say, hey, Max taggies, you have to wait to the end of the show for that, right? Let's just go ahead and get into it. And after that, then we'll get into some Jasmine because I know some of you guys expect that to be first. So, yeah, smash that like if you haven't done so already. And we're currently at 20 likes. Let's get into it. So here it is from Crypto Mike. And what you see right here, basically speaking, is this ISO GOAT is what was tweeted, but it's good stuff. I had a chance to review this. So in the process of getting into this, and of course we'll make this a lot bigger. check this out. And basically speaking, it is this. And what is this all about? Why pay attention to this? Well, it's in regards to the Euro and SEPA regulations. Okay. So when I looked more into this, I said to myself, well, what's the key highlight here? Basically speaking, it's this. It says now the EU is pushing SEPA's multi-currency capability, and that too in the form of a 24/7, 365 real-time payments. Sounds pretty familiar, right? European version of FedNow. Is that basically what's going on here? So the EPC published the one leg out instant credit transfer. And as you can see here, scheme rulebook in March of 2023. That was only a few months ago. And the service will start at the end of November 2023. This article summarizes the most important things. And like it says, OCT, INST, I guess it means instant. What benefits should these schemes basically offer? And, we're going to get into some of this. So I'm going to jump back to the next page of what this is about and why you should pay attention to this. Pull this up. You're going to see, like it says, like you see all these member countries, they're part of this. There's quite a few, right? You have Spain, you have Slovenia, Portugal. I'm just going off the surface. The Netherlands, Malta, Luxembourg. There's a few others, right? Obviously, Italy. Heck, I think there's even Ireland, right? So it says at first glance, the task seems to be simple: to connect the European Union's own real-time clearing with the corresponding systems in the non-euro area. Look what's highlighted here. Payment service providers, Volgo banks, for instance, can then send and receive payments of up to 100,000 euros in real time via the familiar pass. Remember TIPS a long time ago? We haven't talked about TIPS in a long, long time. TIPS are in RT1. I don't know the last time I think we talked about this, maybe like January. But European Union countries without the euro and important trading partners with their own currency will get standardized access to the euro system. I'm telling you flat out, on the surface, it's literally like the European version of FedNow. I mean, seriously. This strengthens the euro as a currency, promotes the economy, and also offers advantages to citizens in foreign transactions. Now, if you think about this for a moment, right? Shouldn't FedNow, when you make a comparison, shouldn't that strengthen our dollar, right? So again, there's some common things here. This strengthens the euro as a currency, promotes economy, and also offers advantages to citizens in foreign transactions. I'm going to write that again. By presenting a scheme, the discussion can be started, and the EPC is therefore in control. All other real-time clearing systems or banks outside the SEPA area can consider whether they want to participate in OCT Instant. Financial institutions that act as service providers, think about this for a second, you know where we're going with that. They act as service providers for other banks are also explicitly allowed. So here's the thing, okay? Even before getting more into this, kind of a different narrative, is it not? When we saw, for instance, Jerome Powell, and he was talking about FedNow long before, July 20th and so on, he was trying to say some things like, basically like not crypto, but, we have this is available to do real-time instant payments. It's ready to go and so on. All right. But then we see like, okay, well, maybe it's not necessarily like using Ripple's XRP or Stellar and all that, even though we did that outline about it, but it's some of these key partners in the background who's going to, for instance, access, Ripple's on-demand liquidity and so on. Like people call it like a backdoor way of doing it, whatever you want to call it, right? But there are some things that are verified, right? And we did that, I don't know, that 2 or 3 day deep dive into some of these things. We have Rue Black on the show. I don't want to get into all that. But what I like to see, or what I like to mention and bring to your attention here, This is cool because instead of saying, backhanding like the technologies, right? It says specifically, and I'll state it again, explicitly allowed financial institutions that are, that act as service providers for other banks are explicitly allowed. Well, draw your own conclusion in regards to that. So there is indirect and direct participation. The EPC is set to aside in the period from March to December 2023, although operations, like it says here, start and is highlighted at the end of November for change requests. So hopefully all aspects can be examined. Obviously, it gets cut off on here. I mean, it's a good read if you want to nerd it out and so on. But yeah, shout out to ISO Goat. I mean, this is pretty good stuff. So I want to jump over to the actual website that he has referenced because he says right here, this is slight work for his guy Smoke or Smoke Q. I don't know how to pronounce it at this point. And he references this site. It's CPGDE, whatever. I could go ahead and drop it in the comments for you guys. Take a look at this. Again, please smash the like. We're at 23 likes. We do way better on likes. I know that the market's down right now, but come on. But yeah, take a look into that. And yeah, AUK Instant. I mean, I guess I could call it instant. I think it's an abbreviation. So one leg out instant credit transfer. Think about this for a second, right? And if anything, I'll blow this up a little bit more. And we'll put a little emphasis on this. This is good stuff, Shout out to Mike Cornwell for finding it. And obviously, ISO Goat's friend or colleague or, I don't know, fellow researcher, right? So the euro and SEPA regulations are very beneficial to banks. Yeah, absolutely. There's banks that are participating, countries, and businesses in participating countries because clear rules and reliable systems enable efficient payments processing. The European Union, of course, is pushing SEPA's multi-currency capability that is also 24/7, 365. I mean, again, guys, seriously, if you don't think this is like, European Fed, I don't know what else to call it. I think that's a good analogy. Real-time payments, that's the bottom line. So this thing called one leg out instant credit transfer has a scheme rule book. Again, started, I guess, back in March 2023. The service itself will start at the end of November, like we talked about. There's a summary about the important things. We gave you some of that. I'm not going to get into all of it. But the part that was cut off, right, was the hurdles. And I do want to point this out. This part right here. At second glance, the devil's in the details, as other real-time payment systems are neither technically nor legally identical. In addition, there's the biggest hurdle, currency exchange. The dynamics of currency fluctuations are absorbed in trading by an exchange rate difference and buying and selling, and normally good money is made in foreign exchange. Now, that's something to be said. And, of course, the trading. So it's a matter of figuring out how to manage operations, liability, currency, risk, the whole shebang. As it gets more into this, they reference, for instance, HSBC, Deutsche Bank. Those are consistently being referenced across the board. But the reason why I bring it to you is because it gets more into this thing that you may not even be aware of. And does it specifically mention Ripple's XRP? Oh, yeah, it does. You probably saw on the screen right now, and we'll get to that in a second. So it goes on to mention about this concept, or it's not really a concept, it's a real thing, right? And that is one leg out, which is a funny name itself, Instant Credit Transfer Initiative. It says they earn quite well as correspondent banks with the existing systems, albeit more than like the wholesale area, for large value payments. And this right here is where I feel as though anybody that's complaining about Ripple's XRP not doing much on the short term still doesn't get it when it comes to the long term. Large value payments should have just that. Large value for the for the high value stable coins, if you will. Now, if you're new, we're not referring to a 1-1, peg to the dollar or anything like that. We're talking about what the World Bank has referenced in their brochure. And that basically is Stellar, Ripple, Ripple's XRP, Stellar's XLM. What does this specifically say in that? I don't have it handy, but we did a deep dive about this. What specifically is referenced right there, plain as day, in the World Bank brochure is that those two that we just mentioned are going to have or be considered high value global stable coins. They have to have that. But that pathway forward, right? Got to have all the clarity. Well, again, check out what's mentioned there. Whether they participate in OTC, instant and online, or supplement their business accordingly remains to be seen. The neobanks like Revolut or Ripple, see, I knew, like I told you, I'm just going to mention Ripple at some point, will probably lose business and possibly engage in a price war. This is the interest of the European Union and citizens. Now, are people going to panic about this? Give her, we can argue this all day, but there's some rules in regards to this, and it does reference ISO 222. Check this out for a second. I know we're going to get into the Jasmine stuff, but this is pretty good. Anybody who wants to participate in OC Instant or Inst, I still want to call it Instant, must comply with the rules in addition to the absolute cost for transparency and a tight time limit for processing. The ISO 222 message format is mandatory. Mandatory. Remember how we talked about things being mandatory? So here's the bottom line, all right? I mean, we can get more into this, and maybe we should. What have I been mentioning for a while when it comes to the concept of utility in motion for the longest time? I mentioned specifically ISO 222, full implementation by November of 2025. But there's this other thing, which is good, right? Even though there's this, this little talk about, will the neobanks like Ripple and so on lose business? I don't think so. Incentivizing utility in motion. Can you have something else that will help get that going? Is this the pathway forward for maybe something else, right? A lot of times when we look at a lot of these technologies, we become what? Focused on our tunnel vision, and that is, well, I'm not going to make a big fuss about Ripple's XRP. I'm not going to make a big fuss of Stellar and XLM and so on because, Max and all these other guys are basically stating that, we need full implementation by November 2025. We're not there yet. Right. But when you see things like this mentioned, accessing that utility in motion, shouldn't that be a big deal? I think it should be a big deal. Because again, understanding that by the end of November 2025, going from full implementation into, hey, guess what? This is no longer, delaying things. There's a mandate, plain as day. The ISO 222 message format is mandatory. Mandatory how? Mandatory with who? Mandatory with this platform. Different platforms could definitely get utility in motion, right? And of course, I've seen other content creators, whether it's Rich, Common Sense Crypto and so on, talk about the concept of a $25 XRP. Is this a hint of a $25 XRP? Well, I don't know these, I don't have these answers, but I could put my head to good use and basically recognize that it could be, right? I don't still know for sure, but nonetheless, just like you guys, we're all paying attention to this. So it goes on to mention that there's this end-to-end ID remittance information, and you must use, this must be available, I should say, to the sender and recipient. Well, no kidding, right? Very similar to the whole concept of, the basics of real-time gross settlements and so on, right? But in the form of what they have going on over in Europe. Now, if you're wondering about the EPC, they have little legal authority in foreign countries, and therefore the bank, which acts as the gateway to the Eurozone, is particular of importance. It must ensure that it is affiliated with the financial institutions and also operate as a compliant manner. Right, compliancy. How's that going to work? So is this a big nothing burger? Are we going to get a delay? I don't think so. It seems like this is a big deal. This is a really unique find to say, at least, Say what you want. I don't know if you guys follow ISO Goat. He has some great research. So SCT Inst or Oct Inst or Instant. One might get the idea that Oct Inst is an extension of the existing SEPA instant payments. We have covered SEPA in the past. Infrastructure. This is not the case. Again, guys, are you paying attention to this? This is not the case, because you know what? If it was the case, this might have been a nothing burger. Check this out. Both systems are independent services, and PSPs are not forced to participate in the one leg out instant credit transfer scheme. As interesting aspects are our payments via OCT-Inst, which take place without currency exchange. That's interesting, right? With like euros and so on. This is to enable holders of euro accounts outside the SEPA area to make money transactions with account holders within the SEPA area. Within the Eurozone, OCT-Inst shall not process a euro/euro transactions to avoid cannibalization among the euro clearing services. Gives a breakdown about which EPC instant credit transfer payment scheme to use. And if anything, this is where I need to go down that rabbit hole even that much, more into it and so on. But there's a note. Check it out. This is a part of the currency in which the instant credit transfer itself is expressed under the OCT-Instant SCT instant schemes. The payment account of the payer and or payee can be in euro or in other currencies. Well, what currencies would that be? Well, it's not, like if there's non-European Union members, will they be able to take advantage of being on this system? Looks like that would be the case. In order to establish compatibility, and they do reference SWIFT, so to establish compatibility with Swiss cross-border payments and reporting plus CBPR plus, and cross-border instant payments plus, which is IP plus standards, OCT-Inst includes additional fields that are not yet available in SCT Instant. All right, before we wrap this up, because we need to, let's face it, OCT-Inst has the potential, listen to this, to change the way payments are made. After the somewhat hesitant introduction of SEPA instant payments, SEPA banks and customers now have yet another reason to become friends with SEPA real-time payments. It remains to be seen whether they will be used at the point of sale and thus attack the credit card world, and influence on the online trade will rather not take place. Reason, the scheme, as always with SEPA, does not provide consumer protection and continues to leave this field to PayPal and so on. So is this another case where we just need a little bit more of that clarity? Yeah. But if anything, you do see that groundwork there, If you look at what we have going on with FedNow, technically speaking, just because it's there doesn't mean that this thing is being utilized 100%. So the point is this. Here in the United States, ISO 222, full implementation. The United States is coming late to the big party, as I've always mentioned, November 2025. But there's obviously a lot of other places in the world other than the United States. Yeah, no kidding. So you have this thing going on in Europe. Could we very well get a taste of things to come in, if anything, utility in motion? That's the bottom line. Some people say no because there's not enough clarity even in regards to this particular system, and I would agree with people. But I think we should pay attention to what happens with this. And you want to know something else? You're going to see a lot of the content creators talk about this. So, hey, let's introduce it to you. And we basically just did. Let me know what you guys think. Because here's the bottom line for me to you. And that is one leg out instant credit transfer. When we talk about, for instance, crypto in itself will take on, the debt of the world. I should say crypto, but like the likes of Ripple, right? And you saw Ripple reference there. So if this is, like it mentions, this instant credit transfer service, last I checked, Ripple's XRP is the premier platform for doing just that, right? Through on-demand liquidity and so on, with real-time gross settlements with finality of roughly 3 to 5 seconds max. That's game changer type stuff. So there you have it. There's an introduction, and glad to bring it to you guys, especially from CTN Sideline Reporter, Mr. Mike Cornwell, aka Elon Muff. All right. We will now get back into the comments. We will then jump back into the coverage for the night, which will be some Jasmine. Starting to feel a little bit better, not having to focus on all the real world stuff. Can focus on some of this. So sometimes, you just got to get back in the ring, slug it out, and get the juices flowing. Smash that like if you haven't done so already. Really appreciate you guys being here. Okay. So next up on the comments, let's see if you guys got any specific questions, comments, and so on. And if you don't, that's okay too. If it's talk about Caroline or anything like that, that's fine too. Have a good time. And I have a little drink of the fat juice. Shout out to Raiden and his mud butt, right? All right. Poor Rand. Hopefully he's doing all right. Okay. I don't know where we're at in the comments. I think I had a highlight, but maybe I missed it. Let's see where we're at. Let's see where we're at. Must have skipped some of these. I must have lost it. All right. Let's see here. Talk about the Rice Crop Consortium. That was good stuff. I guess I'll start right here from Boomer F and Sooner. He says he knows it's going to take about 40 quadrillion transactions to 40 quadrillion. My God, to burn one half of bone and 140 years to burn 140 years. My God, man, 1/4 of bone at the current pace. We're not going to be around for that. Like, what the heck, right? I know that's a gripe. That's a legitimate gripe. You're not. You may. I don't know. Some people may feel as though Boomer's the only one that says that. He's not the only one. Trust me on that. I've seen a lot of other people mention that same thing. I don't like it. I'm still holding my shib. I'm still holding all of it, right? My reward's a bone. My leash. I don't like the idea of it, but we all got to be objective of anything, right? All right, Corey B-Bay. Good evening, Max. I already read that one. My bad. All right, I think I know where I'm at. Let's see here. Let's see where we're at. H-bar. Not today. I think we talked about the other day. It's not on the agenda today because if anything, I could have put it on the agenda today. I have to be somewhere tonight, and I won't be able to get to where I need to be if I make this WrestleMania. But yeah, we do like covering H-bar, and if that's disappointing to you that we're not talking about H-bar tonight, I apologize. All right. Let's see here. Mr. J Crypto, welcome back. I haven't seen you in a while. Caspa is the one that should definitely be up there. Yeah, I think it's a good solid project. I just need to get into it. There's a lot of projects I need to get into though, man. I mean, literally, like I was saying, I added it up one time. It's like $28,000 worth of other assets I should get into, but I was thinking, well, I don't want to be stretched thin. Maybe I should just stack more of what I have. And I'm going to go with stacking more of what I have. But yeah, there's a few on the short list that I have to have. Casp is one of them. I think ICP is one of them. Cosmos is one of them. And there's like maybe a couple more. That's just like, man, I got to have these. Cosmos I've known about for the longest time. I've been kind of beating myself up about the concept, but not too bad. Because if I would have jumped into Cosmos when I originally was thinking about getting into it, I would have paid like over $25 for it. It's an absolute steal right now. There's other ones that are steals. We have tagged here. Filecoin, absolute steal. I'm telling you flat out. But anyway, not financial advice. All right. Crypto Oracle is back. Welcome, welcome. Glad to have you. Leon DeFonte, welcome, welcome. Your highly promoted XDC is in free fall. And you're laughing about it. You're laughing about it? Well, I want to tell you something flat out, right? It's funny that you mentioned that. Am I really worried about that on the short term? Seriously? If you've learned anything at all, I'm into this for the long-term generational wealth. So if anything, if people are day trading XTC, that's on them. I'm not day trading my XTC. I'm holding XTC for the long term. Same with XRP, Stellar, and so on. But nonetheless, welcome. And feel free to talk all the crap you want. All right. Let's go further down. Let's see here. We got Hush It, GTC, Gitcoin. Nobody talking about the only crypto where developers meet to build all the Web3 infrastructure and get paid through its protocol known as quadratic funding grants. Don't know about that one, my friend, but thank you for sharing that. Corey B-Base, Stellar Sorbonne, next-gen smart contracts will give Ethereum's EVM. Yes, that's why we reported so much. And if you guys saw yesterday's show, it's going to be big, right? Absolutely huge. Let's see here. Where you guys think this is Larry, this is not Larry. This is me dropping the link. All right. That's okay, though. The whole market is down till morning, but Thursday is midweek rehearsal. Get ready for the blood. September is going to be Rectember. Oh, God. Hope not. All right. Let's see. What are the comments you guys got? Please smash the like. I know you guys get tired of me saying that, but like, there's not a lot of likes right now. Unless you're like literally like to hell with this guy, I don't care, and that's fine too. All right. Gitcoin, according to Hump Not Dump, is a platform where coders and devs can get paid to work on open source software in a wide variety of programming languages. And they took part if you're a favorite in your favorite projects. Huh. Interesting. All right. Mike Cornwell, Elon Musk. He says that is where it's at, folks. These are, this is big news. These type of breakdowns, getting the real utility action being broke down by Max. The bankers and institutions are background building the new financial system. Right. We're talking about, like, for instance, all this stuff, right? Obviously, Ripple's XRP, Stellar, XDC. People see, on the short end, oh, you promoted all this stuff for the longest time, and look where it's at right now. Okay. Do you not understand the concept of bear markets? Do you not understand the concept of pullbacks? Do you just look at what's on the surface on CoinMarketCap and say, hey, this guy, this Filipino ice cube looking mofo is full of crap, and it's okay. I mean, I've been told I was full of crap my whole life. It doesn't hurt me any. I was told I was full of crap back in 2021 when I turned 10K to 120K. Look how that turned out. I'm still going to talk about this stuff. Still going to research it. It's funny because, the other day I was looking at some comments on Twitter, and it's what comes with the territory. I get that. And that was a few guys were like, where are your sources? I was literally thinking to myself, I always provide sources, but on this particular one, how can I provide sources on, something that is like, a future big deal, right? It's like Project Rosalind, Bank of International Settlements. Can you imagine somebody saying, where's your sources? How can somebody give a source? It's like a deep dive connecting the dots for a reason. Give me your source. I want this other guy. Give me a link about where Bank of International Settlements confirms quant before it was verified. Yeah, good luck with that. It's called NDAs. You know what I mean? Anyway, one of those things. All right, let's welcome April Cornwell. At some point, she probably said, hey, glad to have you here, April. Boom, there you go. All right. If anything, I'm going to get back into our outline because I kind of need to do so. I'm going to read maybe a couple more comments. Legrand Commission says, Max, you guys should consider opening a Cash App. Take donations that way. You will get 100% of the donations, and the funds are available. You guys? Huh. You guys, huh? Yeah, I don't know about you guys anymore, but let's leave it at that. All right. Let me go further down. Let's see here. What else do we got? Incurable Optimist going to do like you stack up on Jasmine. You want to reach 3 million, 200 QNT and keep it at 7 coins too, Max. There's nothing wrong with it. You focus on certain ones. I'm just saying there's a few I still recognize that like trust me, you guys don't have to preach to the choir when it comes to cast, but I totally get it. You know what I mean? ICP, I think, is still there's some ones that really stand out, but in reality, it's like when you add it all up, at least I did one time, and I said to myself, my God, that's like, well, this last pullback, it used to be a price like 28 to 30K. And then now it's like literally all this stuff I was thinking about getting into is like literally probably like 21, 22K. So do I jump the gun and get into them all? Nah, but there's going to be a short few like Caspa, like ICP, Cosmos. There's a few others, obviously, that say, I got to have these, you know what I mean? And it's just me. But yeah, that's a good strategy, man. I mean, in my opinion, not financial advice. All right. Let's see here. Dude, Max will be the number one influencer one day. Seriously. I mean, if I'm not, I'm not. I mean, it'd be cool, but at the end of the day, I mean, I don't know. People only knew, man. I mean, pretty much doing all this stuff for free. Like, no joke. All right. Max absolutely will be number one. Well, thank you, guys. You're trying to cheer me up, and I appreciate that. All right, we're going to get into the outline. I do appreciate those who are here tonight. Please smash that like. We are going to get into a few more things. I'll read this because this is from Blake Snyder. Let's welcome Blake. Can you talk about, I think you were trying to say Nexera, because I never heard of Nasara. Maybe there is a Nasara, and I never heard of it. And the QFS. So I think there's quite a few decent cryptos, obviously, to get into the, in regards to the quantum financial system. But I don't know. Maybe you were saying there is a Nasara. I'm just not aware of it, man. And if there is, I don't know. I'm not going to talk about it. But for those who are wondering about the quantum financial system, it's a real thing. And if you Google the quantum financial system, QFS, just like that, that's the best way to do it. And put that into Google and put CMC at the end. So the quantum financial system, QFS, and then put like space CMC. CMC will give you, I think it's like the top 20 that are part of the QFS. And there's, of course, some no-brainers, right? Like Quant, XRP, XLM, XDC, the ones that we're accustomed to. But you also see some ones that are part of the QFS that you weren't aware of. One, actually, believe it or not, is Polygon. So some people think that when it comes to the QFS, well, this is just strictly like ISO 222s. Nope, that's not the case. Because Polygon, again, is the perfect example of that. That's not part of ISO 222. It doesn't need to be. All right, we'll revisit your comment in a little bit, Blake, just to get some clarification. One more comment, and I'm going to read this. Just wait until the utility run, and we have a massive hit on 90% of what we talk about is coming. Those who have paid attention will change the world around them with the riches. Very, very true. I couldn't agree more. I mean, this is another reason why we talk about this stuff literally almost every day. I'm not going to just like give in and just sell for a loss because I never got to see, full utility in motion. Again, maybe I should make a thread about this, post it on Twitter. That's the bottom line for all this. We could talk until we're blue in the face about like, bear markets and, bull markets, all this stuff. But the real big thing is just like what you mentioned. There's never been a utility run. And that is the beautiful thing about all these concepts is getting to that point of experiencing a utility run. I've experienced a bull market in the past. Legrand Commission, obviously, probably experienced more than I have, especially if he's been invested in Ripple since 2019. The key thing is recognizing what you have, why you hold it, because at some point you did some research, whether it was with me or, on your own or some other platform, or maybe you tuned into Crypto Hulk or somebody like that. Hey, awesome. You know what I mean? They helped educate you on some things or open your eyes to some key things. And that is what should always matter. Some people give up, and I'm just going to be honest. It's just the way it is. Like, I'm guilty of certain things, you know what I mean? I've given up on my diet sometimes, like Taco Tuesday or my diet, you know what I mean? It's just the way it is, right? But that's a different type of thing, you know what I mean? This is a different story, but in reality, you can kind of apply that to some of this thing with crypto. It's an emotional roller coaster. I hate to use that because there's a lot of guys, obviously, what's his name? Austin Hilton and Zach Humphreys. I have nothing against those guys, but they always mention like it's emotional roller coaster. But it is emotional roller coaster. Some people will quit and then they get back in, and then they quit, then they get back in. And why are they doing that? They're basing on market conditions. I don't know about you guys. I'm not doing that. I'm loading up on the right times, especially when it comes to, if there's any extreme fear and so on. And if anything, it's like there's going to be ones that are on sale, like for instance, we saw BSV was like $30, but we see it lower than that, 25. There's other ones, like the graph, maybe we don't talk about the graph every day, but I'm a big proponent of the graph. I've DCA'd into it numerous times. I may not talk about the graph all the time on the show. Maybe I should. But the point is, I recognize the utility of the graph. I think it's going to be huge. Well, the graph is like, under, was it 9 cents or something like that? So, 9-10 cents. All these, there's so many different ones that are on sale. But, if you've done your research and you believe in it, stick to the research. Unless there's something just absolutely like crazy that happened with the project in which you need to walk away from it. There's always exceptions, but like the guy earlier, oh, you're the guy that promoted XDC for over a year. Okay, I still will be. You know what I mean? I've had people in the comments give me crap about the whole thing. Like Andre Casterman literally said that XDC was going to pump big time, early 2022, and that didn't happen. Okay, so Andre Casterman was wrong. So what? Am I going to go based off of what Andre Casterman said back in, January of 2022 and basically like throw out all the other research, especially when it comes to like the R3 quarter bridge with XDC. Like that's like the biggest thing for it. Or the electronics trade documents bill becoming a freaking act, right? At the end of the day, what are we basing things off of, really? Are we really basing it off the opinions of some Joe Schmo that came into the comments? Or are we really basing it off of solid research? I don't know about you. I'm basing it off of solid research. And the research shows, and again, anybody could look this up, when we talk about meme tokens, it is a lot of case of buy the rumor, sell the news. But what is the one that was literally a perfect case of buy the rumor, sell the news, with a utility-driven project, yes, that has connections to ISO 222. It's XDC all the way. It's XDC all the way. March 20th, right? ISO 222 implementation or going live. XDC is the one that, had a pretty nice pump, right? Again, I'll remind people, July 20th, electronics trade documents bill becomes an act. XDC was the one. So I'm going to go for 3 of 3, September 20th. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But you know what? I'm cool with that. Sometimes you do got to roll the dice. Shout out to Samo Fudd, right? You roll the dice because you want to know something? Sometimes you get that lucky couple hands. So I'm going to go for a 3 of 3. And I'll be glad that I did so. I'll be glad that I loaded up more on my XDC. And if anything, we could screenshot it and plaster it all over the Twitter, Twitter. Hey, look at this guy. But am I going to really do that? No, I'm not. Why? Because that's immature. That's childish. And you want to know something? I don't have any hate in my heart where I hate this guy. I'm going to post this to show him. No, I'm not like that. So it's all good. If you want to continue to bash us on our platform, you drop some comments. If you get too out of line, I don't know. Maybe some moderators will deal with you. But nonetheless, I'll give you another chance. Welcome. And it is what it is. All right. April Cornwell, Boomer. That's funny. I was always in the jewelry. Mannequins. Oh, boy. You don't want to know what happened when I was a little kid when it comes to mannequins in department stores. I'll just leave it at that. All right. What's this? Legrand Commission. Max, answering your question that you asked earlier. You are a good friend, and I will follow you to any platform. Oh, thanks, man. You too. And I know you're a good friend, because you stuck with us through the thick and the thin, but there is some thick and there's some thin, and there's a lot of thin going on right now. And to be honest, it really ticks me off. And I think you know where I'm going with that. So we'll just leave it at that. All right. Forget that, right? It's not about drama. This platform should never be about drama. I should put my emotions, like I said, kick that to the curb. If you want to have a DM with me, you can have a DM. But the point is this. I want to get back into what we're talking about. And you guys have been patiently waiting for some of that Jasmine coverage. And I won't state for the record, I will cover Jasmine, but I'm getting paid to cover Jasmine. We're not. All right. And I think I proved that. All right. So let's jump into some Jasmine coverage for you guys. Please smash that like. Let's see how we're doing on likes. We're on 33 likes. Again, we could do a little bit better, but that's okay. Where there's fear in the market, people may not want to smash the like. They're like, I don't know. What's there to like, man? Crypto winter is going to be forever. That guy named Hump Not Dump, please, he should change his name back to Crypto Winter. He should be changing his name back to Crypto Blizzard. A Blizzard sounds good right now. I might go down to Dairy Queen. Oh, that's right. I can't go down to Dairy Queen and spend my money on a Blizzard in Crypto Winter Blizzard because I spent it all on this cryptocurrency and I'm down 90%. I don't know. I feel your pain. Trust me, I do. But if anything, you learn from your mistakes and you become that much better of an investor. But you got to be able to weather the storms. All right, let's jump into what we have in regards to the Jasmy coverage. All right, so it's a piece from originally referenced from NeoX but on top of that, it's good stuff, period. And this will be something that you may have seen or you may have not seen. But the point is where it is referenced. So again, this is going to be your Jasmy coverage for the night. And it might not necessarily be like the most juiciest of juicy, but if anything, it's educational. And there's some key things that I think that needs to be brought to your attention. So let's start it off with this. And that is the Ghost Drive. Now we realize that there's other platforms that do have Ghost Drives. But with Jasmy, it is something that gets brought up quite a bit in regards to just that. Ghost Drive. So let's jump into the topic of the night. So again, please give NeoX a follow. He hasn't really put out any threads for a few days, but you know what? It's okay. People get busy. Even I get busy, right? But I appreciate this guy. Literally, in my opinion, and this is a great compliment, he's like the Quant Papa of Jasmy. Right? I love seeing people be passionate with the research. So he states he's always wondered what was the Ghost Drive function by Jasmy Secure PC. Yes, some of you guys asked about this, right? I haven't seen Zippy around in a while, but Zippy originally took some screenshots and talked about it and so on. But in this particular piece, if you will, you will see this interview from who else other than Mr. Kazumasa Sato. So he goes in full detail in this article, and we're going to take you to that. It's from the Nikkei, and here it is. So here it is. It's interpreted into English from Japanese. And of course, he has this interview, right? And we've maybe at one point even shown you some of this, like maybe many, many months ago. Not going to jump all into this. But the key thing I want to show and recognize is this, all right? I love the history that is mentioned here. And this part I won't skip over, okay? So this is not me reading everything verbatim, but if anything, it's me showing some key things for you verbatim. So in this interview, and if anything, I'll try to blow it up a little bit more. Not to the point where it's like too bad. Yeah, this is good. So there's Sato, Mr. Sato on the right. He states, in the 1980s, computing was focused on mainframes. Very, very true. All right. Some of you guys are like older than me. Remember some of the old school computers. You have, for instance, Commodore 64, whatever the case be. It says that after that, downsizing progressed, and by the time Sony released the Vaio, which he was deeply involved in developing, the performance of that Vaio and the former mainframe was almost the same. Listen to this. What was possible on mainframes 20 years ago can now be done on PCs. And we have entered an era of decentralization, which information processing can be done on the terminal side as well. Yeah, very, very true. I mean, look at all the advancements in technology in itself. How about this? Look at the advancements even on a gaming PC. Shout out to you guys who have like M2s, for instance. You know what I'm talking about. Goes on to mention this. However, with the advent of broadband, there has been a resurgence of concentration in the cloud. Right. Have you guys noticed something consistent with me when it comes to coverage? Remember how I talked about Filecoin and so on? There's other ones, right? But if anything, I understand that in the next bull market, I think data is really going to be the shining star, right? You guys have mentioned numerous times, data is the new oil, right? So goes into this and states, Jasmine was founded by the members who instinctively thought, quote, the era of decentralization, the era of IoT as the Internet of Things will come again, and terminals with power, what we now call edge computing, will be required. Now, what's a nice, beautiful little segue, if you will, in regards to what we shared earlier, right? So earlier we were talking about ISO 222, and we were talking about this new thing that's like the European version of Fed now. But the key thing I want you guys to take away from our live show, and if anything, we'll chop it up later for the recorded, is mandates. Yes, mandates and what are required. So he mentions here that call to edge computing will be required. Required. Different way of basically saying a mandate, right? So it was the age of the cloud, but he wondered if there was any way or was a way to create a solution that could operate data in a distributed manner without separating devices from data. Think about the complexities of how this sounds, but it's the smarter, bigger players. And if anything, Jasmine, the team, Kazumasa Sato, and so on, still creating patents when it comes to Jasmine. That's big. You want to pay attention to that, because even though there's a lot of fear in the market as we speak, I will reference XDC. Remember how they built basically in a bear market of 2022 and everybody was flooding them? I shouldn't say everybody, but just the people that don't know were flooding it. Oh, Andre Kosterman said this, right? This is Jasmine that we're talking about, but it's a good example. Understanding that even where we're at right now, they're continually building, they're continually expanding, they're continually partnering with all sorts of key players. So in this interview, and it's a really good interview, literally, look what was mentioned. You guys, always talk about data is new oil. Well, Sato literally talks about it as well. Data is the oil and water of the future. Many people were already using Google services at the time, but many felt that their data was driving the economy. He remembers that there were a few people who saw the rise of GAFA, and remember that's a acronym for Google, Amazon, Facebook, and Apple, as a problem because there was a strong trend that, quote, it's okay because you can use convenient services for free. For free? What's the cost? There's a cost in anything. Even here in the local government, I meet naive people all the time. Oh, that's okay. I mean, that's free. No, it's not. Well, no, yeah, it's free, but the government pays for it. Oh, the government pays for it. Oh, okay. And that's free to you. Yeah. I don't want to get down into that. All right. Teach us all. But you get where we're going with. There's so many naive people, even to the concepts of, oh, I got my brand new cell phone. Here's my cell phone. Oh my gosh. And it's asking me if it's okay if Google uses my microphone. Well, I got to let Google know it's okay. I mean, at the end of the day, it's just computer language. They got to know if it's okay for me to do that. Ha, please. In the little small, fine print that you're not aware of, there's a disclaimer, right? And you got all this preloaded stuff on your phone, and it's basically for they can have full access to everything. Hence why I always reference the Weber barbecue grill. I still get ads that pop up every now and then in regards to or targeted marketing for a Weber barbecue grill. And now me mentioning Weber barbecue grill once again, I'm sure that these will pop up once again. Or if I talk about Ray-Ban sunglasses, are you kidding? My phone is literally listening to me talk about Ray-Ban sunglasses, or listening to you, or listening to whoever, or listening to Boomer F and Sooner, right? The point is this, whatever we're into, right? That data is being transmitted, and it may seem like we're using these convenient services for free, but that is the price that we give up. Jasmine is disrupting an industry that really needs to be disrupted. That's the bottom line. A decentralized data marketplace. Look at all the marketplaces that are centralized data marketplaces and how much that's worth. Oh, it's not worth that much. I never really thought it's worth all that much. The heck it's not. Google, last I checked, is a multi-billion-dollar company, one of the richest companies in the world. Amazon's way up there, is it not? Apple's way up there, right? Apple is literally, oh God, man. I mean, it's got probably worth more as a company than over 50 countries combined, right? That's insane, is it not? Apple, at last I checked, is worth, I think, and don't quote me because the market fluctuates, at least double of what the overall crypto market cap is. And as you know, we're at 1.06 trillion. I think they're worth maybe over 3 trillion. I can't remember. Don't quote me, but somewhere in that range. So let's say it's 3 trillion and we have a pullback to, 1 trillion, right? We're at 1.06. So just on the surface, roughly triple what the overall crypto market is worth, Apple. So you can come to the conclusion that data is worth a hell of a lot of money. How much would data be worth when the true bull market kicks in? That's the bottom line. Ask yourself, do you really want to complain about the current prices? Now you can complain if you got into Jasmine at roughly $5 and you want to be like that stupid guy with the puppy dog icon named ME, wherever the hell his name is, that always fuzz it and shows the same chart. You could do that if you want. But the key thing is recognizing that we will get to the point where blessings in disguise are just that. They are blessings. And did you take advantage of the accumulation phase? Some do, some don't. All right, we got a little sidetracked with that. I want you to see this for a second. So he goes on more about this, talks about the problems of data being used without the knowledge, right? People just blindlessly throwing their data here, throwing it there, and so on. But somebody's capitalizing on your data, and they're doing it every single day, 24/7, 365. It gets a little bit ridiculous, just like this chair gets a little bit ridiculous sometimes. Anyway, you get what I'm saying. But in his outline, check it out. He goes on to talk about the enforcement of the General Data Protection Regulation, GDPR, in the European Union, all the way back in 2018. Well, where did we go from that to where we're at now? DFFT, Data Free Flow with Trust. And we talk about, well, Max, or whoever you're talking to, we need to have that regulatory framework. The framework is already there. It literally is called DFFT, Data Free Flow with Trust. Even here in the United States, we are copying that model, and we're calling it something else. And if you don't believe me, you can look more into it yourself, right? Yeah, it is called Do Your Own Research with Max, but that is part of doing your own research. All right, so I like what he also mentions here, and that is talk about the decentralized technologies that make it technically difficult to falsify data have developed rapidly. And of course, he, as in Sato, thought that these technologies could, I should say, be used to protect data generated by devices and individuals without centralizing. Absolutely. The whole concept of the Internet of Things. Just because you have some things that could technically grab the data doesn't mean you have to use it in a centralized manner. The spread of new coronavirus, like you mentioned, occurred in the midst of this. And you got to keep in mind, Jasmine and the concept of these smart cities and Society 5.0 did come out from this. While a lot of us may have a different narrative or where, how we look at things and so on. Again, my key thing is what kind of value comes out of these concepts or what they are trying to accomplish. It's a big deal. So he talks about in January 2022, they started offering Jasmine Secure PC, but doesn't basically just end there. And I like this part, right? Because you may have never even seen this part before. So some people do ask, do they not, when it comes to, Jasmine, like, what is the difference from other services? Isn't there other services? Well, do you guys remember when I did that deep dive when it came to Jasmine compared to Pillar, compared to Ocean Protocol? And I said basically, hey, you know what? And maybe at some point I pick up some Ocean Protocol because you know what? That is a good data management platform, right? But I still feel as though when it came to Jasmine, they still take the cake because of what, right? The crypto trifecta, if you will. Does your project have utility? Yes. Does it trend? Yes. Okay. Well, what's the third thing? Well, the third thing could be a combination of two things, basically. And that is, does the particular asset you're looking at have a really attractive ROI, right? Return on investment? Or is that risk to reward ratio very significant? Well, yeah. Again, like how we always mention, you ever notice that a lot of people who hold XRP also hold Jasmy? Why would that be? Because Ripple XRP holders recognize that risk to reward ratio is still incredibly significant, just like it is for Ripple's XRP. Going more into this, you know, Sato talks about the features of Jasmy Secure PC, and the bottom line is its easy use. We could talk about utility all darn day long until we're blue in the face. But if the utility doesn't have easy use, you're kind of stuck in the mud. Here at CTN, we do talk about, for instance, Stellar. I know this is a Jasmy segment, but again, some of the recent things we reported in regards to Soarbon, a premier smart contract platform that allows any dev to easily build with hardly any prior experience. You know how attractive that is? It's just as attractive as building on Quant's Overledger, is it not? So my thing is this: recognizing every single thing that has to do with utility in motion. That's the bottom line. Ease of use. Sato mentions this right here. If you carry your PC like a wallet and lose its contents, it could be a problem. Yeah, no kidding, right? However, if you use the function, and here's the good stuff, because we're talking obviously tonight about the Ghost Drive. So he says, if you use a function called, quote, Ghost Drive, a Jasmy Secure PC, the business drive will not be visible when you're carrying it around. How cool is that? We talk about security. We talk about resiliency. We talk about, speed and so on. Jasmy hits all cylinders when it comes to the criticism, not from the fudders, because the fudders, let's just be honest, they got their head in the sand. But I'm talking about when it comes to, can Jasmy scale? Yes, absolutely, through a layer 2 solution of centrality. How fast? Well, basically speaking, 1000 TPS. Now, it's not 1500 like Ripple's XRP, but that is not too shabby. How about this other thing? Being able to do some of these other key things. Yes, because of security. Some people say, well, Ethereum, it's very, very slow, but it's very, very secure. Well, being able to have this concept of the Ghost Drive, right, simply means just that. Being able to not display this drive publicly. If you think about it, right, don't overthink about it. If you can create something kind of like the concept of camouflage. I don't know if you guys do any hunting. I do hunting once in a while when I can, when I have more open time. What is the concept of camouflage and so on, right? For you to blend in. But in this case, it's not just about blending in. It's literally not allowing somebody who should have no access at all to even see the drive. If somebody's glimpsing through, was able to hack your computer and so on, and they oh, he's got, the C drive, and he's got a D and E drive, but the F drive doesn't show up, not even available. It's just blank. That's a game changer as far as security. All right, going more into this. Administrators who hold the keys to visibility can be even remote, right? It's not just what's on the local end, it's also on the remote end. And also, it creates this possibility for sales staff with a PC to make a phone call and ask for an administrator to unlock the door. Jasmy Secure PC goes on to mention all these key things, right? It goes on to mention that they are in more than 25 countries around the world because of the alliance with Netsco, mainly in the Asia Pacific region. And this is big stuff. Now, getting into the last page about this, and again, this is some good educational content, if you will. I like what's mentioned here specifically because this is a good question, and everybody who owns Jasmy and even the naysayers should pay attention to this. And that basically is, what kind of business would Jasmy work on in the future, right? You want a roadmap of What are they going to work on? Is it strictly just secure blockchain PCs? Does it just end there? I think obviously the answer is no. And Mr. Sato does basically reference that. What does it say? We are not going to end with just this Jasmine secure PC, right? You don't settle, just like Jeff Bezos didn't just settle for Amazon being an online, new and used bookstore. Look how that worked out. And when we get more into this, you're going to see some very, very great comparisons that, if anything, you kind of like how he words some of this, because it makes you think, wow, maybe they do see a big future like Google-esque type things. For the Flutters, they're never going to recognize this. Let's just be honest. And it's not about that. We're not trying to win Flutters. But, he goes on to say, with this solution as the gateway, we will build an environment where more people can safely use data. One of them is the idea of a personal data locker. We know some of this stuff, but hear this out because he explains it so eloquently here. Your data, if you're not aware of this, especially if you're new, is stored in this locker that we manage. We can't see inside. However, only when the customer who owns the data makes a decision to show the data to company A, the locker door is open only for company A. In the case of a call center company, or how about Transcosmos? Go check out that deep dive, right? The content of the locker was a call log, and when it became necessary to explain to the terminal manufacturer A about the communication trouble that the customer inquired to the provider B, it went from A to B. You don't have to repeat the same explanation. All right, that was, a good representation of what he's trying to explain. I want to state this, right? A lot of you guys own ledgers, right? Who doesn't at this point, right? So what is one of the key things of owning a ledger, owning, another cold storage solution, right? You might not go with ledger, you might go with something else. The key concept is, especially all the fear that happened with FTX and so on, or even Terra Luna in the past and so on, as the saying goes, or Voyager for any other, God, I never saw Ironlux Trader after Voyager, not Voyager, but after FTX happened. I just want to state that, all right? Never saw him again. I hope he's okay. But my key thing is this. The concept of not your keys, not your crypto, right? Yes, not your keys, not your crypto. Self-custody your crypto. How many times have you heard that? Well, couldn't we make a comparison here when it comes to Jasmine? Right, we absolutely can. Because basically speaking is like what you just literally saw here. Your data is stored in this locker that we manage. We can't see inside. Well, for them not being able to see inside, basically, just because they manage it, doesn't mean, like, for instance, the concept of a ledger, right? Things are reported on chain and so on, but they can't necessarily see or grab what's inside of your, cold storage for any reason why, for the matter that, Jasmine can't just take it out of there and so on, right? We can't see inside. Don't you like how that's mentioned? If we're talking about decentralization, isn't that the whole point? All right, going further down into this, this part is good. He says another solution that they're starting to use in the world of professional baseball camps are, like it says, they're held in February. Enthusiastic fans visit the campsite, but now it is necessary for the team to understand who came to the tour as a countermeasure against Corona, says is using then in a semi-anonymous state that does not specifically specify who. You can find out that some people come every day. Again, the English interpretation is not perfect here. If the target can be expanded to all baseball teams, you can also see that there are people who are laddering all the baseball teams. If it spreads to the neighborhood, restaurants, and transportation infrastructure, there will be more opportunities to provide customers with new benefits that are more precise and tailored to the person. And this is done through what? The Internet of Things. And you can have multiple Internet of Things devices that can obviously use the PDL. That's the bottom line, right? So again, when we talk about more and more utility, more layers of utility, there's sky's the limit when it comes to the Internet of Things. We did give you some recent examples. I know that we're going back to baseball, but remember that example we gave you a couple of weeks ago when it came to the tracking of a pitch, like how a pitcher throws the ball, and even how that's tracked through the Internet of Things to record like how how many times this guy throw a curveball and how is he throwing the curveball, or how this guy bats. Even in modern Major League Baseball, I don't know if you guys who are into baseball have seen that. There's this one baseball player, like he had that thing on the bottom of his baseball bat, and he used that to, measure like his precise swing. And, the data shows specific things like, hey, look, man, if you were to just try to swing like a few milliseconds sooner, you're going to hit more home runs and so on. But imagine how much that's worth. And that's just a little small piece of like data from that example. Anyway, going more into this, Sato, he says, through these activities, we'll proceed with the construction of a platform that can be widely used beyond the boundaries of industries and industries based on unprecedented ideas. Again, guys, this is not one utility layer. I mean, for some of you guys, not you specifically, again, hear what I'm saying, just saying in general, there might be some person that's just brand new here and they want to promote, a meme token. The key difference is this: utility-driven projects, especially Jasmy, take the cake over, these short-term meme projects for sustainability. If you have a meme token that, for instance, oh man, look at this amazing pump. All right. We might not ever see something like that again. All right. So my key thing is understanding the utility that we have here. There's many layers of utility that reach so many different things, kind of like what he mentions. And that is, it reaches beyond the boundaries of industries and industries based on unprecedented ideas, which has raised or were raised at the time of establishment. Yeah, recognizing that sky's literally the limit when it comes to this. There's so many different industries that they can get into, and they have done that. Medical with Care Project, metaverse, educational side of things, you name it. Identity, especially when it comes to personal identity. All right, here's some of the good, juicy stuff that should be encouraging to you, okay? I love this statement from him. He doesn't want to see his business grow alone, right? This is where I think at the beginning somebody asked, is Jasmy a meme token? No, it is not. Welcome to Jasmy. You have a strong community like a meme token, but it has real solid utility, and it's not just one layer of utility. Like it says, he thinks that should not happen in regards to growing alone. However, this may be a cheeky way of saying it, but if we don't first take the initiative and see how we do it, it's hard for people to understand that there is such a way, right? Hence why we try to give you some of that educational content. I could talk about, oh, hey, look at the retracement for Jasmy, and look at the technical analysis and so on. And some people, that's all they pay attention to, and they don't want to hear the educational content of the utility behind Jasmy. But if you understand the bigger picture of things, I think you will want to know about it. So like he says, and this is a great reference, again, the juicy stuff. Intel is a global CPU maker, but it used to manufacture its own PCs. In order to get them to build a PC using their CPU, it was necessary to actually build and demonstrate what a PC looks like. So, for example, did Google. The initial screen had only one search window, and there were no advertisements. Everyone must have wondered what kind of business model it was. However, as the convenience of Google became known and many people started using it, it came to be established as a business centered on advertising. Right, centered on advertising. So enter in, again, Jasmy, a decentralized way of going about that. Disturbing an industry, GAFTA, Google, Amazon, Facebook, maybe it's GAFA, sorry. And of course, Apple, I left one out, right? Disturbing an industry that definitely needs to be disturbed. Okay, and giving power back to the people who will choose to not just freely hand over the data to anybody, but empower them to monetize that data. Now, how much is that going to be worth? Well, it could be worth all sorts of different, I don't know, ways that you could look at it and so on. So I imagine, some key companies, maybe they pay out more than some others. That's just a given. But when he goes more into the concept of Jasmine Secure PC, look what's mentioned. He has seen and heard about such things. So he, or we, as in, Jasmine, start offering a service called Jasmine Secure PC. However, if we stay there, the world we are aiming for will not be realized. And that should be bullish for you, because they're not staying just with the Jasmine Secure PC. Again, just like Jeff Bezos didn't settle for just an online bookstore. Or, we can apply this to some of the other things. I mean, I know you guys aren't the biggest fans of Facebook and so on, but it can also apply to Meta, what's referred to now as Meta, formerly known as Facebook. Mark Zuckerberg and his team realized that if they would have just been satisfied with the concept of just Facebook, that's just like, okay, we're good with Web 2. And it just ends there. No, they weren't good with that. Hence why they acquired what? They acquired Instagram and so on. So, understanding that we need to reach out to a younger base, right? We have to be innovative. What was the next big step? Investing into the metaverse. When, let's face it, some people will say, well, look how that turned out. Well, on the short term, it didn't look like it's turned out all that great. Long term, they're going to be more than good. So, wrapping this up from Sato, he says, we will continue to develop safer, easier to use, and more convenient tools and environments so that more people and more companies can use our platform. I love this. You know why I love this? Because I report not just on Jasmine. You guys don't just talk about only just Jasmine. Some of you do. I don't know. Brian Riley, shout out to you, man. I don't know if you're into anything other than Jasmine, and that's okay. But the key thing is this. Can use our platform. More companies, more people. That's the bottom line. Because when we talk about, for instance, Stellar with Sorbonne, again, attracting people, attracting other devs to your platform. Jasmine is literally, like I mentioned earlier in the outline, creating tools, and if you list the part about tools, it says literally right here, more convenient tools and environments so that more and more people and companies can use your platform and contribute to the realization of data democratization. Sato will walk towards it. He won't walk away from it. The team won't walk away from it. They embrace it through all the FUD, and you better believe they recognize some of the FUD. They recognize that chart, right? Not the greatest release, but you got to keep in mind, if you are going to recognize the chart and that chart scares you, like Mike Cornwell has pointed out, there was only about roughly 1.5 million or so tokens in circulation, right? The market cap was significantly different from what you see now. These are all factors. So if you understand the concept of market cap, and I highly recommend researching more on the basics of, like, understanding market cap and why that's a big factor, then understand that that chart, even though it doesn't look good on CMC, there's a lot more to Jasmine than that darn chart. So with that said, this concludes our Jasmine coverage for the night. Glad to be able to share it with you guys. And if anything, please smash that like. I did see that we ticked up, and I do appreciate it, because if anything, I kind of had a bad day myself, and sometimes when you look at the numbers, it's like, I don't know. But you know what? More people tuned in, and I do appreciate each and every one of you guys, whether we're here at the CTN platform or it ends up being a different platform of my own. All right. So let's go further down, and we're going to jump back into the comments. The next part of what we have on the coverage, even though it's not going to be the longest show, maybe, I don't know, might be, who knows? We'll see how it goes. We do have some Stellar for you guys that we're going to jump into 2 days in a row in regards to Stellar. Is that not good? Who doesn't want 2 days worth of Stellar? Sometimes we only get Stellar coverage like maybe once or twice a week, but Stellar is trending a lot more, and that is great. So yeah, we have some Stellar for you. We have some Ripple XRP, a little bit more about that, and we have some XDC. All right, we're gonna kick it back to the comments. Let's double check the other screen. But let's see what we have. I'm not highlighting it at the moment, but I do see Jack Thompson's back. He says, Shalom, Maximus from Tucson. Crypto Galaxy calls Jasmine a scam. I think he needs you to deep dive him live. I'm not deep diving any dude live, man. That's just something I not do, not my cup of tea. Yeah, no, gotta give him. That sounds bad. I get what you're saying, my friend, and thank you. God bless you as well. Shout out to you, Jack Thompson, down in Tucson. If you ever make it up to the Phoenix area, want to have a cup of coffee or something like that, maybe we can make that happen someday. And you know what? One thing I love about the Phoenix area, say what you want. We have some great fellow content creators, researchers, and so on. We have Coach JV. We have who else do we have up in this area? We have 279 of the Jasmine Army, Jasmine Navy. He is, I think, on the west side of town where I'm at. Some other players, other content creators. I forgot just off the top of my head, but in this area, it's kind of cool. Oh, Greg Lunt always talks about quant. He's in this area as well. Anyway, all right. So let's see here. Elon Musk. It's not free, bro. The brotherhood we made here and what we all brought to the table to learn this stuff. Absolutely, yeah, that's true. Boomer after sooner. Hundreds of mugs just sitting in the shop, waiting for the grandkids to find them one day. Reminds me of that old song, 100 bottles of beer on the wall, 100 bottles of beer, take one down, pass it around, 99 bottles of beer on the wall, right? Everybody's saying that at one point. Maybe they haven't. I don't know. All right, so let's see here. Oh my God, that would be epic. April Cornwell. April, I got to say that I don't know what you did, but that is a great picture. Shout out to you and your new avatar. Okay. I like the new look. It looks absolutely fabulous. Okay. Mike should be proud. I'm sure he is. Anyway. Elon Musk, Elon Musk. It's funny how I talk about April Cornwall, and then Elon Musk says, Mike Cornwall, aka Elon Musk, he says, we have all brought some real gold projects to the research table. We're going to be so rich. Again, guys, what's the key thing here? Understanding that, do you see any hints of Crypto Mike giving up on all this, saying, oh, you know what, Max? God, man, the market looks really bad. I think I'm going to go dump all my XRP right now. I'm going to go dump all my XDC, my Jasmine, all of it, my Quant, my H-bar, my Algo. You got to keep in mind, we're talking about a guy who's literally invested, last I checked, about 200 to 300 different projects. Do you see him scrambling? Do you see him giving into motion? Not really. You might hear him make a minor complaint like, oh my God, what the hell is going on in the market? But not to the point where it's just like, oh, I'm going to go dump all this right now. Anyway. Blake Snyder. XLM is the real chosen one. We'll get into that segment here in a bit, my friend. XRP is a setup for the cabal to transfer the wealth from old system to new. XRP is meant for CBDC use. XLM frees the masses worldwide, creating global unity. Well, XLM also does have CBDC use. You do have the whole thing of, what they got going on with the Stellar Aid with Ukraine. So, I mean, this can't be the, a case of, these who is without CBDC sin cast the first stone. I'm just saying, but I'm investing in both, and I'm glad that you are, a big proponent of at least XLM. Thank you for being here. All right. We'll read this from Humpty because it's not every day we get Humpty here. Arbitrum, domain around Arbitrum is scaling up 3 grant programs to provide maximum incentivization to the best Web3 builders. This is Gitcoin, 100K weekly grants. Ooh, okay. I had to have a drink right there. All right. Robert Brewer, stay focused, Max. Yeah, I'm going to try to stay focused, especially when I was in college. I definitely was laser focused, but that was over 10 years ago. And we're now approaching 2024. That's crazy. Can we just call it the 20s? I mean, can we just do that? Do you guys honestly call this 2022, 2023, and 2024? I mean, come on, guys. If you're old school like myself, there was a time period. Hey, man, we're living in the 90s. I mean, then there was a whole concept of like the 2000s, the 2010s. Didn't really have a label. You just call it like, over in the 2000s. I guess that's a label. Just doesn't sound right. It doesn't ring right. Can we just finally call it like, hey, we're living in the 20s? I don't know. Some people are old school, like, hey, Max, the 20s was the roaring 20s, man. Back in the day, Alphonse Capone and, Machine Gun Kelly and all that. Actually, that was more like early 30s, but you get where I'm going with. Anyway. All right, let's see. Let's go further down. Incurable Optimist, what do you think about line supply? I think it's still great. Nexera, I still think it's fine. I know that we don't have no coverage for it tonight. I've been trying to find out some new things. I did see Rich. He did a video not too long ago. I think they're going to be more than good. All right, let's see here. Tim Shea, Nexera is Quant's less expensive cousin. Yeah. Cousin, incurable. All right. Let me double check the other screen. See that we're good on some comments. I think we are. And I see that Mr. OG Crypto is in the house. Mr. Gangster. Tell me about the days of way back. Why does Max always say that? I'm referencing Daz Dillinger of DPG. And speaking of DPG, this will be a perfect time for Twitter identification, not station identification. We sure as hell ain't going to ever do that again. We learned our mistakes on that one. But anyway, this one right here, DPG Maximus. Give me a follow on Twitter. Almost at 2,000 followers on Twitter. As you know, on our YouTube channel, we're almost at 14K followers. Can't thank you guys enough for supporting us and so on. But help me get to the 2,000. Almost there, right? I think I'm at like 1995. So if you aren't doing it, please do it. All right, let's jump back into the coverage. We have some Stellar for you guys. Smash that like for some Stellar. And this is some brand new news straight from Stellar. And I'd love to bring it to you guys. So here it is. And let's get a little bit of, some enthusiasm. Let's be enthusiastic about this, right? So 7 hours ago, Stellar reported this: blockchain for good, partnering with Rescue.org. Who is Rescue.org? Well, they are this thing here where they respond to the world's worst humanitarian crises and help people to survive, recover, and gain control of their future. Stand with refugees. Interesting. Now, in the past, I've even dealt with, talk, for instance, with refugees and so on. Just to give you a little background, my senior year of high school, I lived in a predominantly African community, basically. It was in Southeast Portland, Oregon, in the Sylvania district. If you're from Portland, you know what I'm talking about. And there was a lot of refugees from Somalia, a lot of refugees from other areas of Africa and so on. And you really get to understand, the cultures of these people. These are, we talk about crypto with distressed assets. These are literally people who are in distress and trying to leave a horrible situation. So Stellar, what do they have going on with this? Well, it mentions that partnering with Rescue.org and piloting Stellar aid assist and delivering cash assistance to Ukrainians affected by war is some of their own or their most impactful work to date. And it goes more into it. 90 years of the IRC's partnerships making a difference together. Find out how IRC and their partners collaborate. Now, why do you want to pay attention to this? Well, we're going to get into some of that. So you can, of course, learn more about this. We are going to learn more about this because it talks specifically about that open source tech that makes Stellar Aid Assist possible. Now, I'm going to take you to this page. And if anything, it's not just about necessarily, some of these feel-good moments, but it breaks down about the disbursements and some other key things that you may not even been aware of. So Stellar disbursement platform, I did retweet about it. I did talk about it briefly the other day. Open source global payment solution. And let's jump into it. So they posted an update in regards to this not too long ago. But You see, for instance, like some of the things that mentions on some of the recent disbursements. I mean, this is just a screenshot, right? But it gives you a nice little breakdown of how this all comes together. And give me a second to scroll down. They have this, for instance, a turnkey disbursement platform, initiate and disperse bulk payments that move in real time and settle instantly 24/7, 365. That's another key thing of what you should be learning today, right? Notice the common thing of what we're talking about today. We talked about what Mike Cornwell was sharing earlier in regards to Europe, right? Talking about 24/7, 365 real time payments. Basically, what Europe has, like their version of FedNow, but with credit. Enter in Stellar, bulk payments, real time, settle instantly, 24/7, 365. You see where we're going with this. Full certainty of funds delivery, streamline end user crypto onboarding with seamless wallet creation and tap into Stellar's global or their network of global off ramps, especially when it comes to what, guys? MoneyGram, right? How many MoneyGram locations are there? More MoneyGram locations now than Bitcoin. That's pretty big. Send payments of all sizes. There's micropayments, humanitarian aid, like we were just talking about in regards to those, refugees that you saw right there. There's global payroll. There's, the concept of scaling in seconds. Some people say that, can Stellar scale? Yeah, absolutely. How quick can it do it? In seconds. Last I checked, that's a big deal. And, if anything, it's just like, why don't people still recognize some of the basic concepts of Ripple's XRP or even Stellar? I know this is a Stellar statement, but, this is a good example. So yesterday we shared at you the information of like what John Deaton was talking about in the interview. And he was just like, this is something that upsets our investors. Our investors literally have to use the old technology of invest, throwing millions of dollars at this to invest in Ripple. And they have to use a platform that they, have to wait 5 days or more to settle to invest in a technology that literally takes, 3 to 5 seconds with finality. It's frustrating, right? So this is turnkey access, intuitive interface and an API that fully integrates into your product suite. Imagine what's going to happen when it comes to Sorbonne here soon. How about that transparency? Instantly send funds across borders with real-time visibility through the flow of funds. Global access. Convert. Remember we talked about those off-ramps? Convert crypto to fiat at over 300,000 off-ramp points across the globe. I think about a week or two ago, I sent out that tweet in regards to that visualization. It gives you the exact number of all those MoneyGram access points and so on. That's big. Absolutely big. Again, when we talk about the concept of being able to, have just a regular Joe Schmo type person, the accessibility and so on, Stellar, in my opinion, will literally be the one. Because if anything, somebody's introduced the concept of crypto, they're not, again, thinking about the concept of blockchain, that's Greek to them. Thinking of the concept of DLT, that's Greek to them. All they want to know is, can they use this to buy goods and services, groceries, pay bills, you name it? Yes. What's a great example when it comes to, for instance, being able to pay the bills? Wisdom Tree. Remember that? That was a big deal. So going more into this, talks about, for instance, expand your payment operation, wallet creation. I like this real quick. Recipients can easily access funds with on-demand wallet creation via an SMS invitation. Especially when we talk about the newcomers or the younger generations. Younger generations like the idea of being able to just send a simple text or clicking on that little invitation through an SMS. Bulk payments. Send payments to thousands of recipients in a single disbursement. Thousands? I mean, are people not realizing how big that is in itself? Remember a time period where you can even do tens or hundreds, but let alone thousands? You don't think that's big if you were a Stellar holder? I'm just saying, there's some things that you may not have been aware of or you dismiss because you just thought that that was the norm. And it's always been that way. It hasn't always been that way. Analytics. Track key metrics over time directly from the SDP dashboard. Account controls. Again, the point is the ease of access and the tools. Whether you're dev, whether you're just like us, having something that is easily able, you can easily have it in front of you and it's not hard to use. Again, we talk about adoption. The pathway towards mass adoption doesn't happen without easy use. Things have to be user friendly. How it works. Look at this. Gives you an idea how that basically works. Very, very simple. Disbursement details. Select the country. In this case, it says Ukraine. I don't want to get into this political talk right now. I know where you guys are going to go with that. All right. This is not even use that example right now. But, asset, USDC, provider. You can even select their provider. Again, the ease of use. That's pretty big. All right. How about initializing a disbursement? Send payments to multiple recipients with a single CSV file. I mean, if you're the type of person in which you had a whole spreadsheet, Uncle Jimbo Bob, Aunt Myrna, Aunt or Uncle Jimmy Chonga. Shout out to Jimmy Chonga if he's here. I don't know. You get one point. If people want to do that, they can. Makes it a little bit easier, right? But it gives you a breakdown of how transparent they are. And if anything, when we talk about, is there transparency? Is it easily, can you easily be able to read all this? Yeah, it's fully transparent. Invite recipients to create wallets. Send an SMS invitation to individuals to create their unique digital wallet, access their funds via mobile phones. I mean, so simple. Look at all the disbursements here. Monitor delivery of funds. I think maybe we talked about some of this stuff yesterday too, but if you missed it, I'm pounding it home again. Track key metrics, disbursement volume, average disbursement size, and asset type. I mean, they have great examples here. Set up account controls. I mean, this part's good. New users and add new users. Review user permissions. Settings to comply with privacy and financial management controls. You better believe when it comes to compliance, Stellar has been there from the beginning. You got to keep in mind, SEC didn't go after Stellar. I mean, I'm not trying to jinx it. I'm just going to throw that out there. That's not me fudding Ripple's XRP. I'm just trying to be real. Anyway, thought I would share some of that with you guys. So that was, the recent update in regards to Stellar. The next part, what we have will be a little bit more of that Ripple XRP, and it's in regards to 91% of executives who say that their loyalty program should provide more rewards or benefits. Why is that important? We'll jump into that in a bit. We're at the 1 hour and 42 mark. Please smash that like. Let's get back into the comments for a brief bit. We see here that we have some comments. Let's see here. Yeah, I remember when you but what the blanket hell's going on, right? Yeah. I missed the super chat, I guess, when I was doing my little spiel. 7:11 p.m. My God, I missed that a long time ago, man. I didn't know I missed. I even double checked the other screen. It must have went away on the other screen. Well, I'm glad it still shows up on StreamYard. Francisco Diaz says Caspa. Ish my bad. All right. Robert Brewer with the $10 super chat. Thank you very much. Let me see what if you still have the super sticker on the other screen. Might have went away by now, to be honest. Let's see what we have. Oh, it's just yellow. Okay, that's fine. I also want to give congratulations to somebody that was gifted something. OG Crypto, member for 2 months, says, hey, love my extended family here with Maximus. May all your buys be up and up. Hold on. May all your buys be up and to the right. Be up and to the right. Okay. Well, thanks, OG Crypto, and congratulations on being a member for 2 months. We appreciate you, man. Absolutely. We are a family here. And I like I've always mentioned before, how much time do you honestly spend with I'm not trying to diminish anybody's best friend, right? Like my own best friend, he comes and watches our show once in a while, not all the time. He's really big. He's passionate about real estate. Like I'll state that. Like I told him, I said, his name is Mike Wool. And I said to him, I said, Mike, I love you, man. You are very, very passionate about real estate. You're going to make it, And he was just like, yeah, you're gonna make it with your crypto thing, man. And I said, you are passionate about your real estate thing, all your research, like I am with crypto. And I was like, that's awesome. So yes, shout out to all you guys being part of the family and so on. But thank you again, Robert Brewer, for the $10 super sticker, super chat, whatever you want to call it. Just double checking, making sure I didn't miss anything else, because obviously I missed that, and that was a while ago. So sorry about that. Something about taggies. I think I read that earlier, but I'll double check in a bit. Yeah, you're like, what the F? All right. Go, Max, go. Thank you. Magic Power says each of Max's research is like a doctoral thesis at the university. No one else does such. Oh, man, that's quite the compliment. I don't know. You talk about Kunitake Ando and Kazumasa Sato and heck, even Elon Musk, right? Not Elon Muff, right? Elon Musk. They all have issues that need to be scratched. For me, it does, to a sense, kind of bother me, because the school that I got my degrees from and so on, I always wish they had a master or a master. I got my master's. I always wish they had a doctoral program, right? I could have totally fast tracked it. And that's one thing I liked about the school I went to was you were able to double up on the classes and so on. So I don't know if I can necessarily do that now, but it was really, really nice at the time. But boy, you had to pay out a hell of a lot more in your student loans and so on. It was crazy. But yeah, they didn't have a doctoral. Basically speaking, I mean, when I wrote my master's thesis, that was like a 100-page master's thesis. And I never kept a copy of it. Maybe I should just get a copy of it. But anyway, for a doctorate, though, 1,000 pages. And that's just brutal. Absolutely brutal. And I also looked into it because I was thinking about going to Thunderbird School of Business Management and so on. I don't know if you guys know about TB. Some of you guys do. It's a big business school. ASU, which is also down the street from ASU West, from where I'm at, has a big not doctorate program, but it has, their business program is pretty big in itself. But either way, 4.5 more years of school, I just don't know if I want to do that, to be honest. It would just be bragging rights. The only way I would do it is if I could get something guaranteed, where I can literally be a professor and just do that, teach at at the collegiate level. And at the collegiate level, I've only been able to sub, and I've had a few long-term subbing positions at the collegiate level, but I never was able to just hey, here's a whole contract for the whole year. It'd be really cool to do that as a professor. And as you guys know, in order to be, you guys always joke around with me, what the heck is that on my little Elon Musk thing? My windscreen. Sorry about that. In order to be a professor, because you guys joke around with me being Max the crypto professor, like I said before, you have to have your doctorate. So technically speaking, I'm an instructor and also a school teacher, but not this calendar year. You can't do it. I had to get something that was work at home before I can monitor my dad, because he's a extreme fall risk and somebody has to be here. So not this time of year. But I do miss teaching. But if anything, I teach with you guys, and I do appreciate your compliment. That was a very nice thing for you to say. Thank you very much. All right. If you're wondering about what my master's thesis was, it was for a video game project. Again, one of my dreams, and so on. So anyway, all right. Because it was a business plan. Because for obviously you major in business, and so the master's thesis was a business plan, and it was a real full scale business plan. Anyway, all right, let's go further down. Tim Shea says Mojazme. Best time to buy, yo. It is. But don't go all in unless you really feel as though, I should say don't go all in. If you feel as though that you let's say there's a content creator that's just been rock solid for you, or I don't know, whatever outlet you use. Maybe you guys have some certain softwares. I don't know. And if it shows that like this project is literally at all-time lows. Well, for me personally, I still want to go like break the bank on that, right? Not financial advice. But I would still pay attention to like, okay, well, if it's all-time lows, period, not just for the year, but like just for the, let's say a project existed for like 3 or 4 years. And you say to yourself, yeah, man, I am going to go all out on this. Well, you got to do what you got to do, but you always got to keep in mind with the volatility of how things are right now, just because that's the current bottom, that bottom can even bottom even more. So I just want to throw that out there. But again, that's the whole point of having a proper portfolio manager, monitoring. I don't know about you guys, but I do that. I always look at the ones I say to myself, oh, okay, this one, like for instance, the graph, like literally that's pretty much towards all-time lows. So I said to myself, great buying opportunity, because I understand through the research that I've done where that's going to go. No, I'm not sponsored by the graph. All right. Robert Brewer, even a dog that bites you should get a second chance. Be a transitional person, Max. Yes, absolutely. I mean, I always give people a second chance. I have in the past and so on. I did with one of my old best friends, but that kind of, burned me. Almost got me killed, but that's a long story. I think I shared that story a long time ago. Don't want to go down that rabbit hole again. All right. Let's see here. Tim Shea. Losing needs to be used a learning experience. Yes. Some people got wrecked. All right. I think all of us have been wrecked in something, right? The fudders will say, oh, yeah, well, especially you, Max, you got especially wrecked. No, can't say that about me when it comes to my Jasmine. I did not buy at $4.50 or $5, where the heck it was. No. All right. Elon Musk, Mike Cornwell, what a place to be. To have been as far as we have through winter and now looking up in big waves from bull run to utility run that will start the biggest crypto run ever. That's a great point. All right. We did give recognition to OG Crypto. It's on the screen. We're going to get into the next bit of coverage here in a bit. I promise you, it will be the Ripple segment. Mike Cornwell says, I'm fishing. Doesn't matter how far it goes down when you're loading up. It's nothing but more opportunities to get cheap. What? No. Oh, I got some typos going on. That's right. What's going to happen from meme to utility projects? That's all right. I think we all get the fat fingers once in a while, especially me. It's okay. I think you recognize that. All right. What else you guys got? I hope I'm not skipping any key thing here. I'll read this from Magic Power. Binance has two powerful supporters. CZ also works for them. So Binance is only overthrown if the powerful in the background want it. Best example is FTX, which was all wanted by the powerful. And if anything, like hey, CZ, look how that snowballed in the wrong direction, right? All right. Muff has taggies. All right. Well, let's see. If it helps with the flow, we'll start off first, or if not, we'll kick it in a little bit later. I already shared that one. All right, hold on a second. Crypto Mike. I'll click on the replies from Crypto Mike. All right, 1 hour ago. All right, I'll go ahead and share this one. Does he have another one? There's one for 12 hours ago. All right, so I'll just keep it on this page. I'll just do it on the replies for him. If anything, we'll give him a plug. I mean, you guys can follow Crypto Mike, right? All right, so if you're shocked on who this is, I hate to be the bearer of bad news. All right, so I'm gonna come out of the frame on this one, and you may be shocked. That's Crypto Mike. All right. This right here, this avatar you see here with literally Elon Musk and a giant muff behind it, That is not Crypto Mike. This is Crypto Mike, okay? But he's also known as Elon Musk. So if you want to know who the hell this guy is, that is who this guy is, okay? Let's just get that established, right? So anyway, so give him a follow. He can be followed over at Micheal Cornwell, okay? He's got 240 followers, but he constantly tweets and he deserves to have some more followers. Give him a follow. All right, here's what he's tagging me in. And basically speaking, it is from this guy, Zinov. XRP surpasses Ethereum as South Korea's most popular altcoin. That is big. When it was dropped or reported, August 23rd. That's today. Let's jump into it. As we pull this up, also from the source, it does state that it was today. Hit cancel on that. I'm try to blow this up a little bit more. While we get rid of all these stupid pop-ups. All right. So we get into this. XRP surpasses Ethereum, like we talked about it or earlier. Here's 3 key takeaways. XRP surpasses Ethereum. We just said that, my bad. Data shows that over 20% of traders in their 20s interact with the token, the highest of any age group in the country. That's big. That is absolutely big because you know that the younger crowd can't get things trending. Even though people, especially the Gen X, you know who you are. You know, oh, I don't like Gen Z. The hell you don't. Some of these Gen Z guys are literally your grandkids, for crying out loud. You secretly love them, and at the same time you just don't like the idea that they refer to our music back in the day, like especially a cassette tape, as what was that guy? The guy he mentioned something like hey, check out this music from the late 1900s. Like that just makes it sound old. Makes it sound old, right? Anyway, we are getting old. All right, so yes, data shows that, right? South Korean crypto expert says the trend shows that traders are now opt in for short-term crypto investments. Now, for some people are like, well, I don't like short-term crypto investments. Again, you gotta keep in mind, constant volume coming into it. I ain't complaining. All right, XRP, the world's 5th-ranked cryptocurrency, has dethroned ETH, the world's 2nd largest crypto, as the most popular altcoin in South Korea. Now, we did have to state that. I know some of you guys are like, dethroned ETH, I'm going to go check it right now. Oh my God, XRP is not ranked number 2. That's not what we're talking about, okay? According to a South Korean news outlet report, cryptocurrency users in the country now prefer XRP as an investment choice above other alts such as ETH. Based on data from South Korean cryptocurrency exchange Bitsum, the report, excuse me, I have a little itch. The report shows investment trends across different age groups in the country. Notably, investors in their 20s were highlighted as the most active crypto traders in the country. Per the report, XRP, the popular altcoin choice among this age group, with over 20% of traders within this category opting for the token. Now, again, different type of demographics and so on, different area of the world. How does that compare to, people in their 20s here in the United States, North America, Canada, and so on? I don't know. Maybe it's a night and day difference, but I will state this. I like certain things about South Korea. They are very inclusive, especially when it comes to exchanges, and so on, embracing crypto, you name it, right? So is there a little bit of that? Like they have a more of a firmer understanding of these technologies? Could very well be the case. You guys know, for instance, I haven't played a video game since last January, but I used to be, gung-ho gamer type dude, right? Well, in South Korea, believe it or not, it's illegal to even hack. I love that. Just some key concepts I wish literally that was a crime everywhere because, if you hack an online video game, you have an incredibly small, Anyway, per the report, XRP, the popular altcoin choice among this age group, with over 20% traders with the category opting for the token. Probably mentioned that already. Traders in the 30s and 50s have also been big adopters of XRP. In particular, 14.9% of the traders of their 50s and 17% in their 30s trade XRP regularly. Furthermore, 13.8% of traders who are 60 or older consider the token a good investment option. Additionally, 11.8% of the traders are in their 40s interact with XRP. Now, reacting to the trend, Kim Dong Hwan, wow, what a name. I don't know if this is going to warrant a Coney Island. Please, I don't need an Asian Coney Island on my screen. But if it happens, it happens. Anyway, shout out to Elon Musk, who, by the way, has literally that guy who had a Coney Island, right? You know where I'm going with this. He has a freaking t-shirt, a real t-shirt of the guy with the Coney Island. I'm not even kidding you. I couldn't believe it. Yeah, he's like rock on. He's got this thing with this dude. No, it's just I can't unsee what's been seen. Max, you're going off the deep rail. Come back to reality. I'm going to lead your show. Talk to crypto. Okay. Sorry, just got to throw that out there. All right, CEO of South Korean-based crypto company says the trend shows the investment portfolio of traders in the country is driven by short-term profits rather than long-term investments. Say what you want. The thing is this. It trends. And for me, obviously, it's long-term. I'm not into Ripple's XRP for the short term. But you want to know something? I recognize all of the positive catalysts. I don't consider this a bad thing, right? He added that the high interest in XRP shows that traders respond more to short-term issues than having a long-term view of the market. Meanwhile, XRP has struggled to regain positive run and experience, a week back. The recent market downturn updates from the SEC Ripple lawsuit have impacted the token. But in reality, I mean, there's all sorts of scenarios like this, All right, jumping into what we mainly have for the coverage, I want to jump to this, okay? And of course, I always appreciate the sideline reporting from any of you guys. And if you want to be a sideline reporter for CTN, don't cost you anything. You basically just follow me way up there, right? Way up there at DPG Maximus. And you just, tag me, and if anything, I'll get around to, seeing what you got. So here is our main piece of the night. Okay, this is straight from Ripple. This is brand new. How new? Well, this was reported literally at 2:23 p.m. today. So, let's face about 6 hours ago. And this is good because it states 91% of executives say their loyalty programs should provide more rewards or benefits. Learn how blockchain-enabled programs can evolve brand rewards and loyalty in our latest report. Now, I did have a chance to look at that report, and that's one of the main things I want to bring to you guys. I don't want to get into the entire report, all right? The main key takeaways I want you guys to have is not necessarily how this thing started off. So I do kind of apologize on that. But what I want to share with you is these few areas from this specific PDF report, where you want to call it. So the first one I want to bring to your attention, and this will be a great little outline to open things up for the XDC segment. So we're going to tie both of these from Ripple XRP to XDC, and you're going to find out why I'm doing it. And if anything, you will appreciate it. So stablecoins don't need to be currencies. I want you to pay attention to that. That is big. That sounds crazy, does it not? And especially reference from who? Ripple? Really? Stable coins don't need to be currencies? That caught my interest. That would catch anybody's interest. Let's get down to it. So, like it's shared on the screen here, or like it says, excuse me. When we think of stable coins, we typically think of tokens whose value is pegged to a large world currency. Remember I was talking about this earlier? We did that deep dive in the past, and the videos are still there. I mean, it's a whole catalog of videos, research, right? The World Bank referencing both Stellar and especially Ripple's XRP in regards to global stablecoins. So, stablecoins can be effective for international payments, settlements, or trading. However, limiting the vision of stablecoins to just digitize tokenized traditional currency could also limit their potential use case significantly. And if anything, try to remember this for this, outline, because once we get into the XDC part, it's going to even make even that much more sense. Why can't stablecoins keep a pegged value for other assets as well? That's a great question. Let's think of a world where the majority of brand loyalty programs are now utilizing DID NFTs. This means that the majority of loyalty programs now inherently are connected via crypto wallets. Companies would then have the ability to tokenize the rewards via stablecoins. Now, here's the thing. This is a Ripple segment. And like I said, we're going to get over to the XDC side of things, and it's going to flow well with this segment. But we can even throw Jasmine into the mix. Now, why would I all of a sudden throw you a curveball in regards to Jasmine? Think about it. For the reasons of everything that we've been covering lately when it comes to the DD coin. Now, as you guys know, the DD coin can also be an effective form of like it mentions, a payment. And activating a pairing with what? For instance, a personal data locker. Now, this is obviously Ripple's XRP, but you get the point, the narrative that we're basically sharing here. It's a great example because you can apply this to so many different things, whether it is Jasmine or DD coin, whether it is XDC. We haven't got to that part yet. But anyway, I wanted to explain that. Let's think a world where the majority of brand loyalty programs, like it says, are now utilizing DID NFTs. This means that the majority of loyalty programs now inherently are connected via crypto wallets. Again, like I mentioned earlier, a super wallet for Jasmine. Again, I think that was a great example. But anyway, companies would then have the ability to tokenize the rewards via stablecoins. Tokenize the rewards via stablecoins. Again, I got to just throw this in there one more time. Tokenizing rewards. Well, again, the DD coin, right? Tokenizing what? Giving you coupons, giving you other various rewards for basically holding, like for instance, having the Jasmine token, right? But getting exclusive coupons or rewards from DD and contributing to the society. Again, it applies to so many other things, but this is again the Ripple segment. The airline industry, listen to this, is a good example of this. And in the past, I think this is the last video I did for Algorand. We talked specifically about the airline industry. It was a big, big deal in regards to utility-based NFT. Now, hear this, right? This is a Ripple segment. The airline industry is a good example of this. Airline miles could be represented on-chain as a token. However, in order for the airline to continue operating their mileage program similar to that of their current programs, that mileage reward would need to keep its value paid at a fixed amount regardless of what happens to their customer loyalty program. This is where company-specific stablecoins come in. Company-specific stablecoins, not, stablecoins as in, like it mentioned, specifically like, currency-related ones. Companies utilizing on-chain loyalty programs would want to mint what are essentially stablecoins. Continuing with airlines, for example, for each mile a customer earns buying tickets linked to their DID NFT control loyalty account, they would earn one stablecoin airline mile. This stablecoin mile would stay equal to 1 for its existence. Since these are not actual currencies, but instead company issue rewards, the airline would not necessarily need to put aside any capital for the minting of these mileage stablecoins. Instead, these would more likely be company-specific stablecoins, which have no intrinsic value outside of the airline's own ecosystem. So again, we talk about tokenized assets, but what about where you have rewards programs that create incentives based on, I don't know, let's say you're loyal to Delta Airlines, you're loyal to American Airlines, Southwest, you name it, right? What we shared with you in the past in regards to Algorand, that was a different type of situation, right? Yes, airline industry, but this is, again, I guess you could say like Ripple's point of view. And say what you want. Ripple is not, especially when it comes to XRP, is not just looking at from, like, oh, we're just strictly cross-border payments for this, the banks of the world, central banks, and so on. No, enter in this. This is cool. I like seeing this. This begs the question, why would an enterprise want to tokenize their loyalty points? Great question. The answer, by tokenizing these assets, companies may be able to save money, allow the customers' ability to more easily track how their points are accumulated and stored, develop easier to use redemption tools for customers, and allow for new interoperable marketplace driven approach to how loyalty programs could better serve customers. Again, we talk about the tokenization of assets, but it doesn't just end there. Literally, loyalty programs. This simply makes sense. Absolutely. All right. Get into the last part of what we have from this thing that also caught my attention that I want to share with you guys. So I like this part. Path to implementation. Right. We could talk about all this all day long, but what is that path? All right. Smash that like for some Ripple's XRP. Let's talk about that path to implementation. Jumping into it, depending on available sources, there are multiple ways. Listen to this, multiple ways, not one way, multiple ways in which companies can begin to map out their journey to implementation of a crypto-enabled loyalty program. Those with more capital and technical resources can develop their own framework and infrastructure to create a new loyalty program, or loyalty solution, I should say, from scratch. Others can work with fintechs and solution providers to outsource the heavy lifting with a tailored approach, or leverage the existing platforms, protocols, and relationships with other industry players for easier implementation. What have we learned from Ripple XRP? Through the XRPL, we have an open source platform for a reason. So there's that. In conclusion, and this is just real quick to the point, for many companies, there is a discrepancy between the loyalty they believe their customers are to their brand and how loyal those customers actually are in reality. Very, very true. An increasingly digital, always-on world, it is more important than ever to provide customers with a more value, or I should say, with more value and a better experience. Yes, that's one of my biggest gripes when it comes to the video game industry, especially with Call of Duty. Keep reskinning everything, repackaging everything, make new graphics, and it's the same game I played literally 10 years ago, and you're just charging me more for it? Come on. You can do better. Companies that take advantage of the technologies afforded by crypto to evolve their traditional loyalty programs may be able to provide their customers with better rewards, more opportunities, and more seamless experience, resulting in higher customer retention and long-term loyalty. At the end of the day, what's your key takeaway from here? That supply, that demand. This is a different layer of utility that you may have never been aware of that Ripple provides. If you think about it, when you have any type of particular asset that creates multiple layers of supply and demand in different industries, how big can that be? In closing, draw your own conclusion on how big this is. Do you feel as though this is kind of cool? Share what you think. I thought I'd bring it to you guys because I thought it stood out, and especially during that stable coin segment. All right. I think we have, that's it in regards to Ripple's XRP. The next bit of coverage, closing things out for the night, and let me double check the time real quick, will be, we have plenty of time, the XDC segment. Let's kick it back to the comments to see if you have anything specific. Please smash that like. Really appreciate those who are tuned in tonight. We have 56 likes. We could do a little bit better on the likes because I did see that we ticked up, but nonetheless, I do appreciate you guys. Let's double check how we're doing on the other screen. We're doing pretty well. Crypto market track. I switched accounts because I heard Max is now a free agent. LOL. What the heck? Okay. All right. Let's see here. But welcome. All right. Let me see. Oh, shoot. Give me 30 seconds. Just 30 seconds. Be right back. See, that wasn't even 30 seconds. All right. Yamaha Pacifica. Payday is coming. Most peeps have no clue. One says crypto and they think Bitcoin. I think the new financial system, and we are early. All right, that was 7:30. That was a while ago. My God, I'm really behind. OG crypto. So Jasmine makes a blockchain laptop next phones. I think so. I think that we're not too far from that. I'm not gonna guarantee that. I don't have no exclusive info for people wondering about that. But that does make sense because we're talking about Internet of Things. Yeah, that simply makes sense. Elon Musk, Mike Cornwell. The information we shared here is way more worth it for sure. This is one big chat room with Max Live. I love it. Thank you guys. Appreciate that. You guys having a chat room is fine because if anything, you constantly interacting in the chat, and YouTube sees that and recommends the show. This is win-win all the way around. All right. Mighty Max, thank you for that, Boomer. Love Jasmine. All right. Magic Power, the digitization of the entire world drives the utility cryptos. Yes. TJ Maxx and Hobby Lobby. I still like going in Hobby Lobby, but yes, you guys know, man, their prices are out of this world sometimes. TJ Maxx, obviously, discounted clothing, but I'm not complaining. All right. Let's see what else you guys got in the comments. Let's read one from Corey Bibe. I was reading up on Fiserv. 95 of the top U.S. banks use Fiserv solutions. Probably not pronouncing that right. They also partner with Bokt. Let's read one from Humpty. Ethereum infrastructure giant grants in support of or directly advancing the Ethereum ecosystem, including core client devs, tooling providers, and grants showcasing critical ecosystem ideas. Thanks, Gitcoin. All right, thanks for the knowledge, as always, Badir. Jack Thompson. I read that one earlier, but it's nonetheless, thank you, man. You rock. You know what, guys? You may not know who Jack Thompson is. He really does a good job of supporting the channel on the recorded and also, obviously, the live. I think I'm having some internet problems. Might be that somebody's messing with the darn thing on the end of the block. It's so annoying. Hold on. I think I'm okay now. All right. Please smash the like. I know that we dropped off a little bit, but that's all right. Probably because it's over 2.5 hours. People are getting tired of the show. It's okay. All right. So I am Max, but okay. I didn't know that. I just, sometimes you look at a person's profile, it just mentions Jasmine. That's fine. But I out of curiosity, Brian Riley, besides Jasmine, because I don't know, I'm curious, my friend. What would be your number 2 and 3? All right, you don't have to do top 5. What would be your number 2 and 3? We obviously know that Jasmine's your number 1. What would be your 2 and 3? Is that okay? If you don't want to share it, that's okay too. All right, great stuff, Max. Thank you, Tim Shea. I don't even know if you're still here. We're well into it. You got it. I love coffee, bruh. My aunt and uncle live there. Ah, cool. Very cool. I just say coffee. I mean, for me, I'm not really finicky when it comes to coffee. I could have McDonald's coffee for all. I actually prefer, their caramel frappuccino. Or I'm not a big fan of Starbucks. I mean, it's all right. I'm not finicky. It doesn't even necessarily have to be coffee either. Anyway. All right, let's see here. It's going to read just a few more things. I'm sorry. I want to welcome Blackwood. Good to see you, man. Good to see old Blackwood in the house. Whenever I think of Blackwood, I always think of River as well. All right, let's see here. Elon Musk, I'm loading up a whole diverse portfolio of powerhouses. You're so ready. You could taste it. Longfellows, don't let a dip spook you now. LOL. Jack Thompson missed Bitcoin into Caspa, though, at close to 48K. Oh, wow. I believe it's actual currency. Man, Jack Thompson, you got to get together with G.F. Burke. You would love hearing you say some of that stuff. You got Stellar. Okay. All right. Can't read everything. Let's use that as a bookmark. Let's get back into the last bit of coverage of what we have for the night. Still checking the other screen, making sure I didn't lose anything. Hopefully there's no Coney Islands on the other screen. All right. Yes, nobody needs a Coney right now. All right, let's see here. Yes, let's jump into it. Please smash that like for some XDC coverage. And if anything, here it is. And you may be thinking, well, this is not XDC, Max. This is Globians. Well, you know what? It still gets an honorable mention, and you can connect it as well. But we do have some actual XDC to go with it. But nonetheless, check this out. We do cover Globians. We do cover XSwap and stuff like that. I want to share this with you guys. So this is new. And this was actually reposted from Andre Casterman. Globians Pay wins yet another Payment Provider of the Year award. Were you aware of this? I mean, that's a pretty big deal. Who gave the award? Sigma World. They have no followers. Well, I don't know. That's not the point. That might just be a mess up right there. But nonetheless, congratulations to the entire Globians and Globians Pay team. And we do have the full interview. Max is going to play 20 minutes. No, I'm not. The interview is very short. So we will share this with you guys. Here's, I guess, from that interview. Pretty cool. You know, we got Oliver La Rosa. I had no idea he followed me. How about that? Oliver La Rosa from Globians follows me with 108,000 followers. Well, cool. Thank you, Oliver La Rosa, who follows me, who I didn't realize followed me. You rock, man. I'm going to give you a follow back. You might be watching as we speak. Is Max ever going to talk about Globians? Well, maybe he's tuning in right now. I don't know. That's super cool. That's super. I am honored to be followed by this gentleman. All right, so let's get into the full interview for you. Let's share the other screen. And I'm going to give a like on this one. But yeah, let's jump into this. This is only 3 minutes and 36 seconds. It says interview with Globians Pay, Payment Provider of the Year winner in Manila. It was reported 5 days ago. So shout out to Rafael Santos and some of my family also in the Philippines. All right. I have a lot of aunts and uncles I still never met, but you know, we talk and stuff like that. We try to. It is on my utility run bucket list to go over there and finally meet someone, especially my aunt Puring, who's in her early 90s, the sweetest lady you'll ever meet in the world. We communicate all the time, obviously, like on Facebook Messenger and so on. I can't wait to finally meet her in person. I felt so bad. She had a nipa hut, and a typhoon came and blew off her whole roof. You know, kind of like what Rafael Santos was talking about. So God bless our fellow brothers and sisters and our family in the Philippines, all right? Straight from Filipino ice cube, as you guys would say, all right? Please smash that like. Let's check out this interview. Only 3 minutes and 36 seconds. And then we'll be right back for some more XDC coverage. Here we go.
Mark Anthony here for Sigma TV. I'm here today with Mauricio, head of Americas, and Chan, the CEO for Japan. And this is Globians, winner of Payment Provider of the Year. How does it feel to be the Payment Provider of the Year, especially for the Japanese community and for Globians in general?
It's amazing. Feel amazing because we want to become the payment provider for everywhere in the world, for every country in the world, every company in the world. So it's amazing because it's like a recognition for us, for the work that we have done in the past. You know?
Brilliant. And what does this mean to the Japanese community, Chan?
Actually, it is the beginning of our journey. If we start from the world, from Sigma, and we'll begin in Japan also. Our community member really enjoy and really satisfied with our product and everything we can done. I think maybe next 2 years we will go through the Japanese country and hold everything, and in Asia and all over the world. I think
Those are some strong words, Chan, and I'll keep you up to that. Actually, there are. I mean, the payment solutions are growing. It's a growing sphere. There's a lot of competition out there. What does it take to be a payment provider?
It takes a lot of work. We want not only be the best payment solution, we want to become the payment solution that is regulated and licensed in every country we are. And we want to become global. So it's a lot of work. And it's like a lot of hours with lawyers, a lot of hours with dealing with regulators, but we are doing it. And this kind of price, hours, means a lot of us because it recognizes the works that we are doing every day. And not only Chan or me, and not only Oliver or Gilbert, it's the 150 person that we are working in province.
Brilliant. So I have one last question for you, and you can decide whoever wants to answer this. But I'm curious, why Sigma?
The betting and the gaming vertical is very important for us, and Sigma has become a real good player, a real big player, and it take all the players, all the industry in the same place and take it to a next level that we never see before. And we want to be here because it's very important for us. Like we want to be here. We want to deal with everybody here because it's going to be business for us and going to be branding for us. Not only business, branding.
Branding.
Yes.
Chan, would you like to add anything?
actually, to be true, it's the priceless price award for our community and for our company and for everything. For our even for our team, community, and our leader, everything. So to be true, it will be next year. It will be our the same as.
Yeah, of course, we're going to work harder to become again the best payment solution of the year.
Maybe I think it just go. Maybe next year will be premium.
Yeah.
Well, I believe this is going to be standing tall and proud on your booth tomorrow. I'll be visiting you and catching up with you. I'd like to thank you very much again for stopping by, and congratulations for your well-deserved award this evening.
Okay, cool to share that with you guys. Obviously, we have more than just that, right? We're not gonna just end it right with that only. That'd be a little ridiculous, but that was cool. You gotta give credit where credit's due. Some of you guys, I should say, some of you guys, a lot of you guys are invested into Globians, right? GBEX. Okay, so let's share some more of what we have. Okay, let's get into that. So the next part we're going to jump into, excuse me, is this right here. I just want to turn on some banners back on. And basically says old dots may now connect. What is this? Well, remember how I started the outline from Ripple and we're talking about those stable coins and so on? Again, there's a reason why I do some of those things. No pun intended, connecting the dots, right? Old dots may now connect. Yeah, you know where I'm going with this. All right, so Circle. Yes, Circle. Check this out. This was reported originally, I think, not that long ago, right? 2 days ago on the 21st. Circle's official response, or I should say response, but, some of the news. Other crypto exchange marketplaces and platforms recently announced support for USDC include Change Now and Loopring. Alpha Wallet now allows their customers to safely store, transfer, and use USDC Circle with various dApps. Salt Lending, a crypto-powered digital lending solution, will be adding USDC to their loan portfolio. Finally, and if you're wondering, like, I thought this was XDC, Max. This sounds more like a Stellar segment. Well, we're right there. Finally, Zinfin, an open source hybrid blockchain platform provider, is now also using, or adding, I should say, USDC Circle support across their offerings. You don't think that's a big deal? You better believe that's a big deal. Now, getting more into some of this, in regards to our XDC coverage, I want to share this with you guys. And if anything, I think some of you guys are following this guy. I am. and it's utility to the moon. This guy does a really, really good, excellent job with his little, YouTube shorts, TikToks, where you want to call it. So he says, why PLI is his favorite project built on XDC. I think we covered this in the past. Might have been a few months ago. I don't know, 4 or 5 months ago. But nonetheless, check this out. It says, shout out to 11 p.m. for the great information. And it says, which XDC project is a must hold? And let's face it, guys, there is so many that seem like they're a must hold. I mean, we just talked about GBEX. There's, for instance, XSwap. There's obviously Comtech Gold. There's Impel, right? Well, what is this? Let's just go ahead and get into it. So smash that like. This is under 2 minutes, and he does a really good job of explaining this. If anything, give him a follow, right? Here we go.
Which project in the XDC ecosystem is a must hold? And while it's tempting to say all of them, if I had to pick one, it would be Plugin. And here's why. Plugin is XDC's Oracle. What's an oracle, you might ask? I'm glad you asked. Really am. Simply put, an oracle is the middleman between the real world and the blockchain. So Plugin is a connector. And the TFD Initiative's Trade Finance Investor Day is right around the corner. XDC is a platinum sponsor of this event. So when these trade finance investors want to incorporate XDC into their business, what connector would they use? Chainlink's the most popular oracle, but it's expensive because it's built on Ethereum. Here's the transaction fee from Chainlink from 2 days ago, $27.16. That's over 2,100 times the cost of Plugin. Shout out to 11 ppm for this incredible data. And with the release of Plugin 2.0, now Plugin is multi-chain, so it can work on projects that aren't even related to XDC. Plugin's up over 500% over the last 30 days. And even with that, it's still below a $10 million market cap. So the reason that Plugin is my favorite XDC-based project is because I believe the XDC ecosystem is literally going to explode. So I want to hold the project that I believe is going to connect the most things to XDC. Now, this isn't financial advice. You've still got to do your own research. But I've been talking about this since X was still called Twitter.
All right. You want to know something? Oop, wrong one. Wrong button. You want to know something? That itself makes me, I mean, we covered it briefly in the past. I need to take a deep dive into it. I know you guys got certain requests, and I respect that. When I have more time, hopefully soon, I have to look more into that. Like, if you missed that part, I mean, come on, guys. Aren't we always paying attention to the ones that are going parabolic and so on, or doing big things? That is a big deal. Wow. All right. If anything, let's jump into the last bit of what we have. I think we're close to it. I don't know. So on that one, I did retweet it from Utility to the Moon. And you know what? I think that might be it, guys. That might very well be it. Yes. Unless you guys got something that is just tweeted. I might have to get going here anyway. Yeah, I do. Yeah, I need to leave a little bit earlier. But if I have roughly about 10, 15 minutes max to read the last bit of comments. But what a way to end the show, right? What a way to end the show. That is a real premiere, obviously, standout project for XDC. Sounds like old Max needs to research that more, The guy earlier was flooding XDC. Well, come on. Over 500%? How did that fly under my radar? Probably for one reason. I'll tell you what that is. It wasn't on my watch list. That's, again, the whole key thing of having a good watch list. Sometimes things squeeze through the cracks, do they not? So maybe some of you guys already knew about it and so on. And I do remember covering it. It's just probably like a brief intro. But now it's like, oh, man. Gotta take that deep dive on that one. All right, let's turn on the rest of the banners just for brand awareness and so on. Please give me a follow at DPG Maximus. I'm going to double check it real quick. I might lose followers, might gain followers. I don't know. But I do have goals just like anybody else. I gain a couple. I think 2. At 1,997. I'm trying to get to to 2,000. Twitter, obviously it's going to be called just X. And by the way, they got the domain for that now, x.com. Yeah, they have this thing in which if you have 10,000 followers, you can have what they call a Twitter celebrity status, or qualify for like some kind of, I don't know, extra incentives for content creators. Bottom line is this, guys, right? As you guys know, we're not a sponsored channel. Bullcrap, Max. We'll put the whole thing with Jasmine. Hey, I haven't seen nothing yet in regards to that. But the key thing is this, okay? That's beyond the point. The key thing is that Twitter literally offers about double in regards to monetization, incentives for content creators compared to YouTube. It's like literally a night and day difference. But you have to get some big time, you have to achieve some things. So, I'm working towards that, anyway. All right. We're going to get back into the last bit of comments. It's been a good show. I always appreciate you guys. I mean, again, at the beginning, I was like, oh, man, I don't even know if I'll be able to do the show. I said to myself, you know what? There's people that really do look forward to the show. Just see what happens, man. Like these guys are good. They give you benefit of doubt. I mean, earlier we have whatever his name is, and that's okay. I don't have no offense towards him. I'm going to read about the last bit of comments, but we're going to have to wrap things up. OG Crypto states the price point is too high right now for Stellar. Okay. Newman Lord. Oh, I remember you. Hello, Newman. Come on, man. Got to do the Seinfeld, right? XRP ISO 222 compliant moving forward. Yes, the first ISO 222 compliant crypto was XRP. All right. Moving further down, Elon Musk says he is in all the ISO and partners to. I think I have all the ISOs now officially too. Now I think about it. The last one I needed was IOTA. All right. I finally got to IOTA at like roughly 14 cents. Anyway. So all the ones in regard, all that stuff, payments, large amounts of projects around them. You have around 200 cryptos. You do. All with some kind of research on every investment. That's awesome, man. Very, very awesome. All right, Jack Thompson, can I get an XDC crypto nights? We gave you that XDC. Glad to see you though in the comments, Jack. Appreciate you, man. Here's a dab. All right. Newman. Hello, Newman. No, okay. Metal only layer 0 network that is bank secrecy compliant. That's interesting itself. I remember a crypto Holt talking about metal in the past and so on, but I didn't realize, maybe I just missed this part, that it's a layer 0. When I think of my layer 0s, I think of, like, for instance, Polkadot and so on. All right, let's go further down. Humpty, ISO 222 is a real thing, folks. Don't sleep on it. Right, exactly. That's a good question. I think it might be. I can't remember where I saw that was available on exchange. I think it might be XC. All right. Jack Thompson says, look at the massive influx of developers on Proton. I need more RWA money on Proton. That might be something else that slips through. My thing is this. There's so much stuff to cover, and I know that a lot of times you guys put in requests to cover certain things, like, OG Crypto. Don't think I dismiss anything you're saying. Like, I remember you sent me a DM. There's another one that Jay, shout out to Jay. I don't even know if he's watching tonight. He sent me a DM about some project, and he was like, hey, man, this guy, called this in the last bull run. It was some Ethereum project, but I don't know. I guess there's some potential. There's just a lot of things that need to be covered, and I can't necessarily cover them all. So I hope people understand. All right. Yes, in regards to the likes, 62 likes now. That's good stuff. All right, Jack Thompson says, metal, I want money. I'm going to cry in my closet. Oh boy. All right, True Duckle. Sorry, I don't know how to pronounce that. You could let me know. But let's welcome True. Hey y'all, welcome back. Welcome back. Glad to have you. All right. I gotta wrap things up, guys. So it's nothing personal. I just gotta really get towards the bottom. Unless you got any specific ones. Let me see. What, does anyone think of seller for interoperable? I don't know about that one. Unless it's a typo. All right. Yes. Yeah, I hear where you come from on that one. All right. Let's see here. But it's your personality and your character. That's why I'm here. Well, thanks, Magic Power. Shout out to I don't know if he watches the show anymore, but it's the guy that originally hooked me up with my studio mic. Okay. Mr. Foxman. If you ever see him in here, his name's Foxman. And he used to tell me that, back on, I said, I don't know about, this was before crypto. So my gaming channel. I was like, I don't know, man. He's like, trust me, man. People are gonna they'll subscribe to you. He's like, you have a great personality and you educate people like on how to fly and stuff. These are video games and so on. And then he even said it in regards to crypto. He's just like, yeah, it's gonna be fine, man. Just it's like believe in yourself and bring it when it comes to the content. And anyway, thank you though, Measure Power. Jack Thompson, Max, you're the Terminator of crypto research. Appreciate you. Seriously, thanks. Yeah, that'd be interesting. Imagine every time I come on, do it. Do the research. Get down. Do it, Jack. I can't even do it. I'm trying to do more of the older Arnold where he's like, do it. I could do that part fine, but the other parts that don't sound as good, because there's always the stereotypical thing of, Max, you the Terminator of crypto research. Appreciation, seriously, thanks. Do it. Yeah. Like what the heck? Can you imagine like Hara turning in right now? And I thought Dingy was joking about the part where he was, I thought he was making fun of Hara. He was like, let's go. But I literally saw Hara send out a tweet and he's like, let's go. I was like, dude, Hara, you rock, man. You know what I mean? He does. He can make fun of himself. That's so cool. I make fun of myself sometimes. But yeah, hump not dump. The service a self-driven machine in 2020 said, screw you, Bank of American. A Bank of American? Think about how that's a Bank of America, man. Bank of American, and it became its own independent mission. Do your research like I did. Pump some iron, from Badir, all the way out in the slums of Shaolin. Wu-Tang Clan strikes again. Pump some iron. Anyway, sorry about that. See, what happened is Jack got me on the whole Arnold thing. Terminator. You mean dead swiftly. Anyway. So people just turning out, what the hell did I just tune into, right? All right. Humpty, diversification with portfolio comes with time, not with grind. That's true. And the research. Gabby Megtolis, welcome, Gabby. Max, I'm all in on Jasmine. I follow you on YouTube. Thank you. Oh, well, thanks, Gabby. I really appreciate you. Gabby, consider changing your avatar to something that speaks more about who you are and what you're about. You can do it with Jasmine, whatever you want to do, right? Guys, let's give Gabby a warm welcome. And I really appreciate people who, come from the recorded videos and they join us on the live. That's very, very cool. So thank you for that. All right, Miguel. Hey, welcome back, mi amigo. ¿Cómo estás, mi amigo? Miguel, thank you for being here, man. All right, Crypto Market Track. Max, there are some nice certificates you can obtain from Google to work from home, like digital marketing, social media, and cybersecurity. Guaranteed work when you graduate, and pay isn't bad. 90K. Oh, well, I have looked at some of that stuff before, and I do have a legitimate work at home job. So thank you. All right. You're buying more Jasmine? That's good, man. That's good. All right. Let's see how I'm doing on time. I really got to wrap it up in 5 minutes roughly, give or take. The Google of crypto is the graph. Thank you for saying it, because it is. Doesn't the graph pay royalties as well as staking? Now, in regards to staking, you can do staking. I was doing it on on KuCoin. Okay. But as we know, we got some problems on KuCoin. I'm actually grandfathered into some of the programs on KuCoin. I don't know if they're aware of it, but I'm not going to learn anything. You know what I mean? I'm going to rock with it as long as I can. But yeah, I'm glad you recognize that Graph is the Google of crypto. It truly is. Don't sleep on the Graph. I might need to do a proper, deep dive video for you guys in regards to Graph if I get more time. It's just time is very limited lately in that regard. All right, the chart. Miguel, I'm buying Bad Idea AI. I have no idea what that is. Huh. Interesting. Thanks for the reminder on AI. Miguel, I'm finally going to buy my rifle this weekend. Oh, your rifle. What kind of rifle you getting, man? Awesome. I got two 22 long rifles. One's brand new. One's called a Black Beauty, and it doesn't shoot straight for you know what. It's kind of a collector's item. I don't know about you guys. It's just fun. You guys ever do this back in the day, especially some of you guys that live out in the country? So basically speaking, you hop on a trail bike, right? Like a dirt bike. This is fun as hell. I don't care what anybody says. And you see a bunch of cottontail rabbits and so on, and you go plinking away with a 22. You hit a few. I know some of the ladies probably don't like this. I don't know if you guys have ever experienced this. And this is don't knock it until you try it, right? In my humble opinion, and some people are going to say like, oh, I don't know about that. You got to try it. Fried rabbit, okay? Those who are in the know what I'm talking about. Fried rabbit is better than fried chicken. I'm serious. For one, the meat is more tender. It's less greasy. It's just some good stuff, to say the least. I'm just throwing that out there. Anyway, Crypto Market Track messaged you an article about it too. You did? All right, let me see. Let's see what you got. Hold on a second. Well, I don't see it right now, but I'm on limited time. I don't see the DM. But maybe we could pull it up tomorrow. Did you do the @ sign? I don't know. All right. When you make it, Max, open up a crypto school. Yeah, some people have told me that before. Like, oh, Max, you missed out. You should have made like a Patreon or something like that. Like, I don't know. Teach his own. I mean, you know how many content creators do those type of things? I'm not knocking it, but I'm not doing it on this platform. Never mind. I could get into that because in reality, it wouldn't go to me, but never mind. All right. Hump Not Dumb. XRP is really going to compete with Ethereum, and BRICS is giving XRP transactions. Yeah, I had something about BRICS earlier. I can't read everything. I'm just going to read like 2 or 3 more comments, and that's it. Crypto or Jack Thompson. Good night, everyone. And prayers to everyone, to anyone with ailments. May healing be sweat and joy in the morning. Thank you. Yeah, my dad has some ailments, pretty bad. All right. All right. What else? Oh yeah, I know what this is. About your friend with that shirt. Yeah. All right. I'm going to have to skip over a bunch of comments. I'm not trying to do it on purpose. I just got to maybe get towards the bottom. There's a lot. All right. Let's see what you guys have. How much time I got? Like no time. 1 or 2 minutes, if that. Woo Max Arnold. Yeah, you like that, huh? All right. Let's see here. Bro, the yields are dropping. All right. T-Lens is in the house. Sorry that she's like, all right, well, T-Lens is here. All right. So basically speaking, let's now start the QNT new Jasmine coverage and so on. We're going to jump into it right now. We're going to talk about some QNT. We're going to talk about some Jasmine because T-Lens is here. It's going to be a whole new show specifically for her. No, I'm kidding. I actually got to go. Good morning from the UK, Lee Price. But T-Lens, glad to see you. Welcome back. I did see your comment. You went to like, was it Vegas for some Keno? That sounds like fun. $100 in Keno. Did you win? All right. You can share that if you want. I got to go, guys. Sorry about that. Anyway, I should say sorry. It's been 2 hours, 49 minutes. Please smash the like on your way out. And if anything, please give me a follow. Help me get to 2,000. right? 2,000 real, not bots, real people following me at DPG Maximus. Let's see, Legrand Commission. Good night, Max. Yes. Okay. Oh, okay. I didn't know that. Anyways, thank you, Legrand Commission. Always appreciate you, man. All you guys, you rock. We'll see you on the next one. I don't know if I can get the content from yesterday out today. We'll see. I don't know. There's only so much time in the day, but we'll see what happens with that. And yes, please smash that like on your way out. We're at 65 likes. And with that said, yes, Max did trim up things and color it in. I was looking a little bit gray, looking a little older than I'm supposed to look. But yes, y'all have a great night, and we'll see you on the next one. Tomorrow is Thursday. What am I gonna just real quick? What am I gonna have on the agenda tomorrow? Maybe I think obviously QNT because we didn't talk about QNT today. Possibly LCX. We haven't talked in a while. I'm gonna try to see if I get anything on Nexera. H-bar, I think we'll have some H-bar. Casper, something we haven't talked in a while. Anyway, Algo, IOTA, something like that, right? Something we normally haven't talked about in a while. Obviously, Jasmine. You got to come up with some Jasmine. So, yeah, there you guys go. Great show. Watch the replay. Yeah, no problem. All right, you're very welcome, Mr. Blackwood. All right, no outro. I got to get going. Y'all have a great night.